All right, live. I know what you're thinking. What the hell? Why isn't Matt showing his face? Well, truth of the matter is, I'm tired. I'm too tired to turn the lights on. It's too damn warm to turn the lights on. The rent's too damn high. I don't know. I'm just chilling. Thought I would do this. Let's see here. All right. That's crap. All right, that's the wrong one. There we go. Google screwed up. Did the wrong thing. Let me find the chat. I might not actually be live. Let me. Das ist nicht so gut. I know him. Oh, god damn it. It says that it's private. Fuck me. All right, that should be a bit better. Now that we'll be able to actually go out. It was freaking private. Oh. Okay. Let's see if that works. That should hopefully have an impact on how things are going. Though looking at the live streaming stuff, let's take a look to see what's going on, because there is some crap going down. It always screws up. All right, 4 watching now. Okay, cool. We're live. It's public. Hey, what's going on, Zach? What's going on, Gear Tick? I did not feel like showing my damn face now. I'm too tired. I'm tired for a multitude of reasons. One of which just happens to be that this weekend has been exhausting. So I was sick all last week. I've talked about this before. I was sick all last week, trying to get better, forcibly trying to get myself better before going to PAX. Only went one day to PAX, but I'll talk about that. So Friday rolls around. I'm just like, last day. I'm like, all right. Still not feeling well, but I'll get my work done for the weekend, record videos. I'll be good. I'll be fine. I'll be great. My neck and back are killing me, just sore as hell. My girlfriend's like, go get a massage. Let's go to the mall and get you a massage. I'm like, all right, never done a massage before. So we go to the massage parlor, right? And so it's just no one there speaks English. Not even kidding you. No one there speaks English. And the guy's like, what do you want? And I'm all like, we'll do a 20-minute massage. It's like $20. The dude beat me to shit. And I mean that literally, like, beat me to shit. Right? Like, I am still sore from that. Yesterday, I should not have done that massage. And then in the morning, gotten up and driven to Seattle and been in Seattle all day. I should not have done that. Not carrying a backpack and clothes and shit. I was going to stay a couple nights. I was hurting. And then, yeah, it was pretty bad. Can you guys can hear me, right? I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Yes, JS. Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, no fucking spamming the chat and that stuff. So we're gonna. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. Cool beans. Yeah. So I was. Let me move my shit around. So yeah, I was pretty fucking tore up. Pretty goddamn tore up. So I had opted to. My girlfriend called me last night, and then she wasn't feeling well and asked me if I'd come home, and I was like, all right. So she came and picked me up, and yeah, I did that. But I hung out with Mr. Repsion all day yesterday, and then hung out with Nick Monroe, and we trolled Joy Sparkle a little bit, and that was pretty funny. So that was pretty good. And then, yeah, PAX was kind of underwhelming. PAX was it was pretty funny because PAX is now, all the panels were all about, like, nothing about games. There's a couple panels about games. But everything else was about, like, diversity in gaming, that kind of stuff, which I'm not against it by any stretch of the imagination, but I just find it funny that those kind of social progressive, or in some cases perhaps social regressive aspects were all that was there. And you go to the floor and, Microsoft was there and Ubisoft was there and Nintendo was there a little bit, I mean, like, Arc had a big thing there, but then again, Arc had a big booth there last year too. Twitch had a booth, but the booth wasn't like, it was a lounge more so than it was a booth. Last year they were at least doing H1Z1. This year looked like people mostly hanging out. The line, just even Repsion was like, yeah, it's pretty underwhelming. So it's one of those things where you just get kind of done with it. And you're like, yeah, all right. Like, it was okay. Like, I don't feel bad only going one day. I would have gone longer if my girlfriend didn't call, and I was also, feeling better as a whole. So that's unfortunately what went down. But what's up with you guys? Will you ever be able to see my girlfriend? No. The answer to that is no. And that has everything to do with just her not wanting to be a part of this. And I completely respect that. There are people out there that have no desire to get into this sort of thing. So yeah, I get that. What game am I looking forward to the most? I'm gonna catch shit for this one, but Assassin's Creed Origins. I can't wait for that. When am I leaving the alt left? I don't know. I mean, I got to wash the blood out of my black clothing. Clearly, I have rust on my bike lock also from the blood and pepper spray. So eventually, when I get those things cleaned up and we get that fascist dictator Trump out of office, God, Tara, seriously. Don't you know he is the legitimate worst thing ever? Ever. He is worse than Pol Pot, who killed 1 million of his own people. Trump is clearly worse than Pol Pot. Duterte gives people helicopter rides. Trump tweets negative things. Clearly worse. How will I explain my career to my daughter? I don't know. Shit talking for money, I guess. Do I think Ask a Ninja should sue for trademark infringement? No, but I think realultimatepower.net could. So there's that. Oh, Batman Arkham Knight was on. Yeah, you're waiting on Batman Arkham Knight's a good game, dude. 2 years to wait for that, though. Sometimes, though, but you also, here's the thing, too, with Batman Arkham Knight, they had a lot of problems at launch. Well, I mean, on PC, they had a lot of problems. But they've ironed them all out now. And I was just thinking about Rocksteady yesterday. Where have they been in 2 years? You haven't heard a word out of them in 2 years. So there's definitely that. I want to know more about them. I want to know what's going on with Rocksteady. Yeah, Godless Monk. I'm too fucking tired to like try. It's too warm. It's too hot. It's going to be in the hundreds here. What it is, okay, so where I live, it doesn't actually get hot until like 4 or 5 p.m. And so it stays hotter longer at night. And so my room, even though I have the window open right now, it's really muggy in here. So it's just uncomfortable to stream. And I don't make enough to warrant getting an air conditioner. So what's up, Abyss Soccer? How are you, man? You're trying to fill your night better. It's something other than top 10 list videos. You might just want to stick with top 10 list videos. You might loathe them, but you also are going to want to know what's number 1 on the top 10 most ugly things growing out of Taylor Swift's vagina. Number 9 will shock you because number 9 was Tom Hiddleston. Number 1 is probably the microphone that Kanye stole from her. Too hottest code word for Matt doesn't want us to see his fursuit. Nah, I'm good. I don't have a fursuit. Too hot's code word for you. I don't want you guys seeing me naked. I have not seen Batman and Harley Quinn yet. I need to. What's going on, Mastodon? What's up, Abyss Walker? I'm all right. What is the X Rares site? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, John King David. You got to tell me what that is. I don't know. So, oh shit. All right. Let me just see if anyone wants to jump in. Have people talk, so it's more than just me kind of prattling on for like the next hour. I don't know. If I haven't done it. When's the last time I did a fucking stream? I feel like this whole week has been really weird. It's just a super weird week. It's been, Oregon's on fire, California's on fire, Houston's underwater, North Korea set off a fucking crazy ass, stupid ass 75 kiloton bomb, which caused a 6 magnitude earthquake, and everyone's in like China and fucking Russia are just like, yeah, we're gonna have to step in and beat this bitch back. I mean, let's be realistic here. If Kim Jong-un wanted to kill anyone, he would just go after South Korea. He would just launch it at Seoul. All he's doing is saber rattling that ICBM. That's all it is. He wants people to think he can hit Guam, so it can kind of hold them ransom and shit. But all things considered, that's all that's going to happen. Not much. So, okay. Let's. You know what? I'm going to get in Wild Tanuki. He's cool. I met him at VidCon. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's a good dude. So why not? We'll see. If this thing goes to shit, it goes to shit, and I'll just blame him. Blame him for everything, like I already do. When are we gonna die? Soon, Jade. Soon. We're all gonna die soon. It's gonna happen. What's going on, Foul Pantry? Gotta protect the waifus. Waifus are fine, Tara. Your precious waifus in Japan are fine. Your waifus in South Korea, not so much. Do I think Trump will drop a nuke on North Korea? Nah, Trump's not gonna drop a nuke. It's not gonna be Trump. It's gonna be Putin or President Z, or Xi, whatever. Zingabomb, xylophone. Is it just Z? Is that how you like just XI, right? Which Marvel characters would make the best porn stars? Black Widow and She-Hulk.
That's the right choice.
That's this She-Hulk, dude. Would be the best person for a gangbang scene, right? No, wait, hold on. I'm not thinking She-Hulk. I'm thinking of Goro's sister from Mortal Kombat.
Oh my god. Just hand jobs all over the place.
Just 4 fucking hands, dude. A mouth, a butt, and a vagina. She could service 7 guys at the same time. That's a Guinness World Record right there.
That takes true skill.
That's some coordination. Like, that's some serious brain power. Like, you're trying to, simultaneously operate 4 limbs, your mouth, and your genitals. That's too much computing power. She's clearly running an i7 in there. Or an i9.
Shit.
That's a question for you. What processor do you think a porn stars operate on? Because some of them are pretty coordinated with what they do.
The question of the ages.
It really is. It's one of those things where you're just like, at the same time as she's doing all that, like, is she jerking off a dude with her feet? Like, is she a gymnast? These are the things.
We getting a little foot job action. Or wait. Now here's a question: is she using both feet on the same dick, or does she have like really wide toes and like using her toes? Because then that's another dick added onto that.
I mean, I guess so. But if she's got like wide toes, then she could technically fit like 3 more dicks or 4 more dicks in there per foot. I mean,
on the size of the guy's hips.
Like the hot swapping options on that one. You're talking. I mean, but if she has webbed footing, which I would assume like webbed footing for some reason, that's going to make it difficult. But at the same time, it's like that's a lot of penis.
Yeah, have webbed toes like Ashton Kutcher. Oh,
he has webbed toes.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that. I don't care.
It's just one of those weird little random facts I picked up. It's just he's got webbed toes.
Tar in the chat says Total Biscuit will condemn this stream. Probably.
Oh,
this stream did get.
But we haven't asked the TQ. We haven't asked the trap question yet.
Well, you know what? When I was at PAX yesterday, I was looking around for Total Biscuit, was looking around for Jesse Cox too. I didn't see him. I also was hurting. I was just in a lot of fucking pain yesterday. And so like I was like, oh man, like I went to bed, I blacked out. I woke up today, like I slept until about 1:30 today, roughly. I got home after midnight last night, slept off and on until like 1:30. I was like, shit, I'm out. Like this too much. I didn't even again, second time going to PAX, I didn't play any fucking video games.
That's fucking ungodly. What the fuck, man?
The lines are too fucking long. You know, like okay, so when I was at Comic-Con, I played like Shadow of War, right?
Yeah.
And so like, but that was an hour in line. I had to wait to play Shadow of War. An hour in line. And it was like a 15-minute demo. And then the guy spent like I was asking him questions because I'm a big Shadow of Mordor fan. I'm like, yeah, you know, what's gonna be the same, what's gonna be different and shit. And the dude like kept me talking for 15 minutes, like didn't even like I'm asking, you know, he's like trying to explain to me every little thing, and I'm like, no, I already understand how the game works. Like I've already, you know, I'm like having to explain to him how certain game functions work so he could get into the actual gameplay. And then I played for like 2 minutes and the demo was over. I'm like, son of a bitch. He's like, oh, hey, I'm sorry to hear that.
Fucking cocksucker.
I know.
Oh, that is the worst thing about like going to shit like that. Because I'd love to go and I'd love to like spend time doing stuff. But I feel it's just gonna be like the same thing everywhere else where you're constantly just standing in line.
A lot of it is lines. Yeah, a lot of it is. It gets really annoying. And everything else. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Like we were waiting in line. Okay, so here's the thing. So last night there's this big BioShock 10th anniversary party, right?
Yeah.
And I got the invite for it too. I just never RSVP'd. Mr. Epstein got the invite. He wanted to go, and so we go down there, and it's like he's like, oh, first come, first serve. But if you dress up in cosplay as BioShock, then you get preferential treatment. So I'm like, all right. So we roll on down there and shit. You know, we get in line. We get there pretty early too. You know, and we're talking to people. We were there for like an hour, and we realized that for one, the line had gotten a lot longer. Two, we did an RSVP. Neither one of us RSVP'd. And it wasn't that it was first come, first serve. It was that they got so many RSVP invites that they basically cut it off. And then they said, yeah, it's first come, first serve for those of you who are RSVP'd. And it's like, well, fuck, you know. And I'm like, all right. And then right around that time, when like my girlfriend hit me up, and I'm like, cool, like I'll get the hell out of here, you know. But we called an Uber to come pick us up, right? By the way, like every Uber in fucking downtown Seattle last night, I'm pretty certain was driven by like some kind of East African motherfucker, right? Like everyone, they're all no, I'm not even kidding. Like every time I take a taxi cab in Seattle or an Uber or something, it's always someone from East Africa. I'm not against it. Hey, come here, make your money by all means. But like,
it's just weird.
The first dude who drove us over to this thing drove like he was driving a cab in Tijuana, right? Like he was like, I mean, he made a right-hand turn where you should not, like from like the middle lane, you know, of like a one-way or whatever. I'm like, you should not have done this. He went around people. He almost hit somebody. You know, I'm pretty certain he took us the long way to get to where we were going, because we were only like we're like a mile away from this place, and he took us on the freeway, and we're just like, that seems odd. This seems odd. But then
I think he swindled you a little bit there, bud.
I didn't pay for Mr. Epstein did. So on the way back, that Mr. Epstein also paid for. So I think I owe him like a couple Lyft rides when we're at VidCon next summer. The guide. So we get in the second cab. The second cab literally smells like donkey shit. It smells horrible. I don't know if it's the driver. I don't know if it's the car, but it smells like pure ass, right? And like,
oh god,
it was bad. It was. I mean, like I rolled down the window. It was so bad. I'm like, let's just get some fresh air in this motherfucker. And then the dude had a huge crack in his windshield. Now I used to drive Uber, and Uber is like, if you get a chip in your windshield, you can't drive because then it's a safety issue, right? And this guy had a huge fucking crack all the way through. So I asked Mr. Epstein, I'm like, you gonna leave like a comment or shit, report the guy? And he's all like, I don't know. And so then I went on Twitter and I talked about it and I tagged Lyft. I'm all like, talk to Mr. Epstein. He's the one who fucking paid for it. Fuck these guys, man.
That's fucking dick move, but
like, I don't give a fuck if it's a dick move or not, dude. It's like those are rules and that shit. Like, and people are dicks about that. Yeah, totally. But you're gonna sit there and like, drive us through. Oh, and here's the other big thing about that I didn't like. The seatbelt in the back seat didn't work. Like I kept clicking it, wouldn't click. Like it wouldn't lock. It clicked, but it wouldn't lock. So I had to hold my seatbelt in place, which would have done nothing had we gotten in a collision.
You were just driving in a giant mobile coffin.
Basically, well, what I feel that it was is I feel that it essentially was these are all retrofitted taxi cabs, right? Yeah. So there was a big thing for a while where taxi cabs were purchasing Priuses out the ass, and then the cab drivers, they leased the Prius. Well, when Uber took over and basically started killing off cab companies, a lot of cab companies, from what, if I recall correctly, and I don't know if this is true in Seattle or not, but they started getting in on the game by basically decommissioning their taxi cabs and turning the Priuses into Uber drives and Uber cars and shit. And then they would basically have like a fleet that they would operate and have like these drivers, which is probably one of the reasons why like they all had the same damn paint job, all of them. Like all the Priuses I saw all had the same damn paint job. And I'm like, yeah, I think you got a fucking like bulk deal.
I guess that's why all the East Africans are driving them. It's family business.
Probably, man. And I mean, again, I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about that shit. Like, come here, make your damn money. But it's like, don't drive like you're in your country because I want to fucking live. Like, I saw people almost get hit last night while I was waiting for my girlfriend to pick me up. I mean, I literally almost saw a kid get tagged by a dude driving a Lyft because like he was not paying attention. They're all trying.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. You got to make a quick buck, but there's a limit to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. It's just one of the problems with the cab drivers. It's a job that doesn't pay a great deal, and so it's people just don't
stop caring after a while.
Yeah, they just don't care. So, oh hey, what's going on, people in the chat? Where's the face cam really rando? I just didn't feel like showing it tonight. That's what it boiled down to. I already have videos recorded and pre-planned for tomorrow. I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to show my face. Plus, it's fucking hot. I don't have air conditioning.
Yeah, that's another reason why I like not showing my face, because I can just be shirtless the whole time.
Yeah, you were shirtless a lot of the time when we were in, VidCon too. Don't lie. So
I'm not denying that. Hey man, I'm a big guy. I overheat easy.
You were like one of the only ones that went swimming.
I know, that's what was ridiculous. I'm like, we're in fucking like West Coast in gray weather. Why isn't anybody else fucking swimming?
Well, the Brits did. The Brits went swimming. I think to them they were just like, oh my god, it's water that's actually collected in a pool. It's not falling from the heavens. This is new.
It's just, what is this dark magic?
Someone tell me what's going on. Yeah, those guys are great though. Everyone at fucking VidCon was awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, okay, all but one, but pretty much everyone.
We don't talk. I choose not to talk about that.
I don't blame you at all, man. I do not blame you at all.
I stay the fuck away from all that bullshit.
I will fully say though, I will just admit, this is what I'll say about it is, I did have fun trolling. I did have fun making that person's life a little bit hellish every single time they went on a stream.
No comment.
But no, other than that one crap ass moment and otherwise 5 days of greatness. And are you coming next year?
I'm going to try to. Baylor talked about getting like a house together and whatnot for Airbnb.
Yeah.
So I thought about like helping out and joining that.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of us are going to do. But I think Failure wants like a compound.
Compound.
Yeah,
I need a compound.
I think he wants a compound. No, 4-panel Fury. No, Sargon was not in a Speedo. Sargon did not engage in any of the waterworks. He was clothed and bearded the entire time.
Damn shame.
Although you guys might be able, he might be needing some fun. he may be open to that next year. Let's just leave it at that. He may be open to that next year.
Hold on. I need to drop out because I'm on my phone, so I might like to get on my good mic.
Okay, I was wondering if you're on your phone. How do you get that to work on your phone? I can never get that to work on my goddamn phone.
Because I'm fucking brilliant.
Is it with
give me
the
a second, I'll tell you.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Get on. Yeah, go your goddamn shit. Jesus. Tanuki, son of a bitch. Get naked, mundane Matt. No one will know. I'm good. Mortem Rex, what up? Extra super chat. If I don't wear a shirt, that's not going to happen. Emo Canadian. I have heard of Burning Man. I have no desire to go to Burning Man.
On fire.
What's on? Oh, it's on. Yeah, someone sent me a link about that.
Yeah, I shared it. I go, well, I mean, technically, they got what they paid for.
I didn't know what it was. I just saw like there was something burning. Okay, let's see here.
As far
The
as
man
like,
who died. Okay, so someone died at Burning Man. Okay, and it was an American who was living in Switzerland with his wife.
that's a lot to go.
Hold on here. Yeah, we'll you know what we'll do. We'll do. I don't even know how to fucking do this shit. Application window. There we go. Okay. So, I guess we're looking at that.
That's,
okay.
That's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna lock my screen to present to everyone. Okay. There we go. We're gonna look at this, guys, because I figured this could be fun because I never do this kind of shit. Okay.
On one note, though, all those tabs would drive me insane.
Oh right, yeah. I like having tabs, man. It's a thing. I have. Oh my god, there's a lot of them. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And here's the thing. None of them are pornography. None of them are porn. None.
That's the other window.
That's the one you can't see. Usually I use Firefox. I'm using Google Chrome for this shit. So let's take a see. All right. So the latest, the man who died at the festival lived in Switzerland. The latest on the man who died at Burning Man Festival, the Pershing County Sheriff's Office says a man who died after he ran into the flames of the Burning Man Festival's giant wooden effigy of a man. Jesus fucking Christ! Like we get the giant wooden effigy of a man. Look at. Okay, let's look at.
That is a man.
Yeah, Magog is on. Magog is on that motherfucker. Message him on fucking Discord and be like, yo, bitch. I'll message him on Discord. Fucking Magog. Son of a bitch.
Fucking Magog.
Magog. All right. I'm surprised Failure's not on. This is usually it's time to be up. All right. But first, okay, the Pershing County. Okay, just look at this first sentence here. This is one of the worst sentences ever because this is one sentence. One sentence. This whole thing right here is one sentence.
That's disgusting.
That is insane.
And I'm barely literate myself, but that's
this is the second sentence right here. This came from the Associated Press. Oh my God, you fuckers need to go back to school. This should be 18 words maximum.
They need a better writer.
Look at this here. The Pershing County Sheriff's Office says the man who died after he ran into the flames of the Burning Man Festival's giant. Oh fuck me! That should be the festival's part should be capitalized because
it's throwing you off, isn't it?
It's totally throwing me off. The Burning Man Festival's
giant wooden effigy.
Burning Man's giant wooden effigy. Festival is an unneeded word there. You know what Burning Man is. It's throwing me off. Giant wooden effigy of a man. All right. Like again, right there. You could easily put a comma there and go, comma, was a U.S. citizen who had a home in Oklahoma, but apparently was living in Switzerland with his life. Right. You should add a comma there. Like, cause that's like, it's moving to something else.
Apparently their 18-year-old writer for this article didn't pass grammar class.
I hate that when I'm reading an article and it's like, there's something wrong that grammatically it throws me off in my head. Like I will read ahead and like, sometimes I'll just like skip over something if it's not relevant. Okay, let's see. The sheriff's office also says that attempts to rescue the 41-year-old Aaron Joel Mitchell were hampered. Why did they put his full name? Like you only use the full name if you're going to like be labeling someone a serial killer, or an assassin of some kind. Like Aaron Joel Mitchell. Like you just want to like it's
like how many guys did that guy kill? Yeah,
it's like, oh, you ever heard of Aaron Joel Mitchell? No, is he the one? Did he help Lee Harvey Oswald? What about John Will Spoof? No,
he was the guy on the knoll.
That was the fucker who died at Burning Man. Oh, that dumbass? I just know him as the Burning Man dumbass. Like, I don't know he had a name. I'm going to forget it 2 seconds later. This is ridiculous.
No, I have to say, I hate to call him a dumbass because that sucks that he died, but
Yes, it does suck that he died. It does suck that he died. But let's find out how he died, because then we can determine whether or not there's a dumbass there or not.
yeah.
Okay, so it was hampered because in part of the structure was fuck me. Okay, let me start over again. This is such a horrible written article. The sheriff's office also says that attempts to rescue the 41-year-old Aaron Joel Mitchell were hampered because part of the structure was falling as they were trying to get Mitchell out of it. Why was he in it in the first place? Okay, the sheriff's office,
acid trip. What?
I don't know. The sheriff's office says rescuers had to leave him to allow the structure to fall and provide for rescuer safety before they could go back into the flames and extract him from the debris. That's a morbid statement right there. It's like, well, it's like we didn't want anyone else to die. So,
well, you have to make that choice, though.
Yeah, that's a hard. I don't know if I could make that choice. It'd be a hard one.
I could, but I would live with it the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, that's never good. That's never good. The sheriff's office adds that investigators are having a harder time getting information as festival goers leave their site for their homes. Yeah, sure, people are not going to want to talk about it because they watch someone die. Okay, so the Burning Man organizers said they still plan to hold Nevada's festival, famed temple burning, even after the death of a man who ran into the flames. So he ran into the flames?
Even below it says there was a security perimeter they passed through to reach it.
Authorities are still investigating the okay, so he is a dumbass.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't feel bad anymore.
I don't feel bad. Like, I thought he may have like been in there like, oh, I'm just in here doing some repairs. Like they brought me in from Switzerland. I just gotta make sure this thing is totally all right. Oh no, it's on fire. Oh no, I'm stuck. And that would I would feel bad for.
But this retard, it's
yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So there's a it's been updating as it goes through. Okay. All right. A man rescued from the flames of the burning festival. Signature burning of a towering effigy has been okay. So this article has just been an updated. What if this article is just an update? Why the fuck does it still have that shitty ass line in the beginning? Sorry, that's just still going to drive me nuts. Okay, so he broke through perimeters around 10:30, ran into the blaze, but he was rescued from it. Okay. So this is
I like that little tidbit at the end where it says Burning Man ends Monday.
Yeah,
like, the guy dies, but keep going, y'all.
Well, I thought the Burning Man part of it was meant to be like the finale of the that's what people like they have sex to underneath the full moon.
That's how many a baby was born into this world.
Like a lot of acid and unprotected fucking. So that's a horrible goddamn article. That's a really shitty article. Like, I'm just not happy with that.
I mean, there's at least one kid I know of for sure that was conceived at Burning Man.
That doesn't surprise me at this point. Oh, you
should be well aware of who it is.
Okay, so I got 2 super chats while we were in there. Bull Moose, $2. Can we get some snaps? Well, since I wasn't, that's a fun story. Okay, it's not a fun story. It's not even a fun story. I got a fun story for you. Some snaps there. Sergeant Buck, $5. Get Magog in here so we can share stories of wars I've never been in. Sure, I did. I did in fact send him that. No, y'all want to see some shit? Y'all want to see some shit? I'll show you some shit. I will show you some shit. So, Chiniki, how familiar are you with my history of E-Fame? Is that a curiosity?
Considering I met you literally at VidCon, that's as far as it goes.
I don't know who I was before VidCon.
Nope. Well, I've heard of you. I just didn't know you on any level.
It sounds like a dick. Okay.
It sounds so bad, but it's just so
bad. It does sound so bad. It's all okay. It sounds bad, but at the same time, okay. We're gonna bring something else up here. So, all right, we're gonna share. We are going.
Well, learn me something about your past.
All right. Well, let me take you back 3 years. 3 years ago, I was involved in Gamergate, right? Big gaming thing, for ethics and games journalism. With a girl at the beginning of this. Her name is Zoe Quinn, and Zoe Quinn has been accused of a number of things.
I'm aware of Zoe Quinn.
Okay. Well, Zoe Quinn's working on a new game.
I saw that shit.
And we're gonna check it out. We are going to.
Oh my god, that clusterfuck of a dumpster fire.
Oh yeah. No, it's there, man. It's totally there. And let's we'll watch this in chunks. I'm gonna present to everyone so everyone can see it there. There we go.
It's so bad.
This is pretty bad. This is horrible shit.
It's so bad.
By the way, Alex Lifshitz, that's her boyfriend right there, I believe. Her ex-boyfriend.
I thought that was a chick.
That's not a chick. That is, I believe that's Alex Lifshitz in there. So Alex Lifshitz was her boyfriend at the beginning of Gamergate. In the Vice documentary that you can see about them making this game, you see him dressed like that. So that's him. So you got this here. So you got it's based on the works of Chuck Tingle, who writes really shitty like Amazon like gay fiction. Pounded in the butt by the handsome living video game manifestation.
Was this the guy who did the pounding in the butt by my book while being pounded in the butt?
I think so. I think that's who it was. So Zoe decided she wanted to make a game based on this. Now, what you guys got to realize is this is actually from a Kickstarter where they raised like $85,000 from 2,400 people in order to make this game. This is what $85,000 is purchased. Yeah, the Tingleverse. But just look at this real quick. Look at this here. Right?
I know guys right now who are making a better video game, and they don't have any money.
Yeah.
They have nothing.
Yeah.
They're just doing it out of the goodness of their heart, just for the fun of it. And I'm sure it's gonna look way better than this.
But you will know. Can you see this guy in the top right now? You see the dome, right? Do you happen to recognize who that is?
Not entirely.
I will tell you guys. We will get to the end, but I feel like I should tell you now. But I also want it to be a surprise later, because even you will go, son of a bitch.
Legasp.
Legasp will happen. Many legasps, but we'll get to that. That's okay. So hold on. Santa Ross, Rachel Chandler, Joey, Phoebe Peer. So a Friends reference, and then look at like I don't mind the visual style of this, like the way it's looking. I don't mind that at all.
This
but then
is like
this bus right here.
This is like an Americanized version of what some people think Japan is. I
think so. But then look at like the bus, and then the horrible like fade cutout of the dude's face.
Fucking gay pyre.
Yeah, and then just it's what the fuck.
Dude in a unicorn mask.
Yeah, I know. This is pre-alpha footage. Okay, so all of these guys right here in this unicorn, I know this is all Alex Lifshitz. This is all Zoe Quinn's ex-boyfriend. And I'm pretty positive he is packing that junk right there.
I was about to ask, are you familiar with his bulge, and that's how you notice?
I'm not familiar with his bulge, but I'm
just amazed by the quadrihorn there.
Yeah, again, it's some weird unicorn stuff that they're working on. See? Okay, then you got like that back there that had the two dudes, the two dudes right here, or what the fuck this is, where again like an old FMV, look at like the thirsty there, and it's like a dick hanging down, right? I will say though that design like that's pretty funny because you can see the bottles are upside down and it looks like a butt and legs, and then like there's like
I think Budweiser somebody did that as a advertisement for a while.
Oh, okay. I mean, like you get like they click on the button, it jiggles with the horns. I mean, it feels like something you would see on Newgrounds back in the day.
Yeah, it's like the old style point and clicks.
Yeah, I mean, another thing is I liked those games when I was a kid, but this is just disturbing.
Yeah, I said on Twitter before, it's like this is a game I know what it's reaching for, but it's not gonna play.
No, $84,000 or $85,000, by the way. So again, I mean, look, dinosaur constellation, dick, butt, heart. But that heart looks very familiar to the YouTube gaming logo. So I would not be surprised if there was a copyright violation at some point in time. Also, again, with the bus and someone in a fucking, in a ball gag. Like, so what the fuck is that shit?
Does that mean that the bus is full? Does that dictate that it's on its way to its destination?
I don't know. I don't know.
I have so many questions.
I do too. So then you got like, again, this whole thing here, just really crappily designed. And, it's just unicorns and shit. and then going into a unicorn of justice that then comes alive and eats a carrot.
What the gosh?
I don't even know, man. Like, well, okay, what is it? Like, your choices are Lorco, any chance you could float one of those Twizzlers TM into my mouth, please? My dude, could you do me a solid and haunt me one of those fine Twizzies into my mouth? Don't ask a pirate ghost to float candy you found taped to the wall by a twitchy unicorn into your mouth because you hate fun, apparently. I'm pretty sure Twizzlers as a design is copyrighted. So
and Twizzlers are awful.
Oh, they are god awful. I don't understand how anyone likes Twizzlers. I don't get that at all. But just to say here, it's like Twizzlers TM, but did they get permission to use Twizzlers? And then
actually, I want to read some of these sticky notes.
Yeah, it's like sounds like
crime, but I still feel bad.
Yeah, buy more Post-its.
Are crabs just harder red herrings? Harder red herrings? No.
Something his company hates love. I don't know. This is bad.
This is very
such
bad.
Distinct handwriting is what you see through that. Okay. And then just like look at the pirate though. Look at like yeah, let me sit there and like let me just play with the lip in this mask. You know, well I rub my rapier like Dr. Layman and shit. Fucking look at that though. It's like, what the hell is this shit?
I'm sure the alt-right's going to be really upset due to the fact
this was actually kind of cool. I will admit.
That's fucking awesome.
Like this was actually cool. I will say.
I expect that to have like Hot Rod.
Yeah, like more of this and less of like the really weird erotic unicorn. You see them pounding things with your butt. Yeah, but look again. It's like Pong right here. What the fuck is this?
I just realized that dude had a bandolier of dildos. No, butt plugs.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, the black guy. When he was standing for it, he had a bandolier of butt plugs.
Oh, okay. Wow. Such
highbrow humor.
Yeah. You can tell this is based off something created by the internet. But without any of the subtlety that goes on. Like, what's a dildo doing there? Vibrator doing there? I don't even know.
Constellation Maximus.
I guess so. And then you got this crab that pops up right here. Like, what the hell is this shit? Trial star, like, and then draw a dick. What? Yeah, look at this here. Okay, hiding the erotic thrillers that you've been writing at your desk all day from your coworkers for ding dongs. Like, that's kind of funny, but you know,
Butt Wars, Rogue Buns, Space Raptor, Butt Invasion. Happy Birthday, Frankenstein. Now pound my butt. Stranger Pound, Schrodinger's butt.
This has a lot to do with butts.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, the guy's work's all about butts, so.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, though, I guarantee you a lot of this kind of humor is going to be aimed at like people who really love Bob's Burgers, and they identify as Tina, the nerdy teen who loves butts.
Yeah,
probably a fair amount of that. Okay, what does this even say? Back away from the diamond, Sergeant Shimmer commanded with sexy authoritics. What? Oh, authority. Okay, this is poorly. Authoritics. That's my bad. I can't see shit. He wasn't even out of breath, though he had chased Lexin up 12 flights of stairs. Flights is misspelled. The baby oil from the booby trap. Oh my god, what the fuck? Made his muscle shine in the red security lights of the diamond vault.
Connect with the Tina crowd.
Yeah, I know. This is like that poor fan fiction she writes.
Yeah.
Sergeant Shimmer, the dashing henchman, was shocked. How did you evade my many traps and keep up with my robotic legs? Sergeant Shimmer smiled warmly. just good police work and keeping a fit body through diet and exercise and genetics. Sounds like a Ron Swanson sort of comment. He strode over to Lexan, dripping oil everywhere as he did so. He cuffed the other man. You're under arrest. These diamonds aren't going anywhere, but you are. Lexan spat in his handsome face. You think you've uncovered so much, but you're not even close to understanding the depths of my boss's operation. To the bosses there, while grammatically correct, Stephen King would actually disagree with the spelling. I'm not even kidding you. In his book on writing, he actually says if you have a word that requires an apostrophe for ownership that needs an S at the end, but it ends in an S, don't just put the apostrophe there and not put another S. Just do the fucking other S, man. Like, just don't be a dick about it. Like, I thought that was a great little line in there. He didn't say it like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that was the intent I believe I took from that.
So essentially, it's just the long short. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick about it. Just don't confuse fucking people. Don't make them stop for a second. He tried to bite down on a poison capsule he kept in his mouth, but Saint Shimmer was too fast for him, or Street Shimmer. I have no idea. Uh-oh, not so fast, Lexan, the exquisite police sergeant said, snatching the poison from the henchman's mouth and putting it in an evidence baggie in one swooping motion. Lexan tried to take off running on his robotic legs, but Sarge Shimmer tripped him. He fell flat on his face and started to cry. How dare you? Oh, how are you so good at being a policeman? I don't understand. Sergeant, Jesus, this is fucking okay. I can't even do this. I tried, guys. I really tried. It's horrible.
You can only suffer so much.
Yeah, I know. This feels like Zoe Quinn's writing, by the way. So there's that, but I don't even know. A snake in a butt. I don't even know what that is.
Snake eating a butt.
Yeah. Okay. Why would
something bring me here?
Well, I think it's Shimmer. Yeah. Why would Shimmer bring me here instead of taking me to the cobbler? So I guess it's like you can play a game where you're trying to write this erotic fiction or something. I don't know. He thinks the law sucks and is bad. Actually, it was leg day for him, and he never clearly skips leg day. Shimmer can't obey Ted's orders for some reason. I don't know if I can care. What the fuck is this shit?
I guess you drag the line to it instead of just clicking it.
Yeah, and then you can do another book by Chuck Tingle. Professor T-Rex teaches me gayness. Okay. Cool. I guess
that's some conversion therapy shit.
What's the other one here? This something living game items. I don't know. I don't even care. This is horrible.
This is so bad.
What? You can't throw your voice while your mouth be busy? Jennick's mouth doesn't seem to be capable of anything at the moment. It just hangs open in both pleasure and surprise.
By the way, that's Matilda from the movie Matilda, as well as the youngest daughter from Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not kidding. That's Mara Wilson.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That is Mara Wilson, all grown up, and yeah.
She aged poorly.
I don't think she will disagree with you, to be honest. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think she'll disagree.
And Matilda was a great movie. Well, at least from my memory.
Oh, yeah.
His voice laughs. I'm only joking with ya. It be pirate ghost magic.
Yeah. That's the kind of face you wake up next to in the morning. You're like, oh, fuck me. What did I do last night? And she's like, oh, would you like some eggs and toasty? And you're like, no, I thought you were, wait, when did you turn Scottish? Oh, last night. You fucked it in me. You fucked it in me there, lad. I'm really a 95-year-old Scottish man. We played an odd game of vice versa. Both me and the last touched our luck at the same time and said, fuck me harder. So weird. But you're the gentle lover, and I'll make you eggs. Like, that's... Seriously.
I'll become a hardy Scottish wife for you. That's what it, in all honesty, that's the face of I've made poor life decisions.
That really, yeah. It's like, what led me to this point? I should have acted more. I think I'm blocked by her on Twitter, actually.
No shit.
Oh, fuck me. This is Chris Cluey.
Who?
This was the guy. This is a Gamergate thing. All right, this dude is like was a kicker. I forget for which team. I think the 49ers. And like he got kicked off the team, I think, for riding out like dudes who like raped a girl or whatever. But like he didn't rat, or no, he saw it but didn't say anything about it or some shit like this. I don't even really remember his entire story. I'm sure somebody in the chat will remember and they'll type it in. And that's basically me saying, hey, go research this shit while I talk. But
I gotta say, I dig that fireplace.
That's a cool fireplace. I agree with you there. But what happened was this guy then got into being a hardcore World of Warcraft player, right? Like hardcore. So he got booted off the team and then, you know, went into playing World of Warcraft basically 24/7. And then he got in, he was anti-Gamergate and totally believed that everyone in Gamergate was like a rapist, psycho douchebag. And yet here's a dude in a game that's being made by a self-confessed rapist, which is just hysterical. Now I'm going to tell you that whole thing. Zoe Quinn told her ex-boyfriend Aaron. So the whole point of Gamergate was originally was it started with the conspiracy. So you had Aaron Gioni release a 9,000 word blog post about Zoe cheating on him with 5 guys. Chris wasn't one of the 5 guys.
Okay, I'm somewhat familiar with that.
Okay, and so basically, oh god damn it, he oh fuck, where's I going to that? I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Okay, she had the Zoe post. He had the 5 guys thing. Okay, sorry. And so inside the chat logs, basically Zoe said that if you cheat on somebody and you do not tell them that you cheated on them, and then you have sex with your partner after you cheated on them and they're unaware, that is akin to rape. So in her own words, according in her own words, and admitting in these chat logs that she cheated on him, she basically, in her own words, she raped him. And so that's the whole joke there is like, you know, he's like, oh, Zoe's a victim. Like, no, Zoe creates victims wherever she goes. People who gave $85,000 for this pile of crap.
I mean, hell, there was that editor who came out saying that shit about God, what was it? Her book.
Oh yeah, no, I was sent copies of her book. I started reading through it. It's a couple years old. It's a couple years old, but we'll talk about that here. This is almost done.
Yes, Vladimir is trying to cant his hips backwards to get more of Truckman inside him, but failing because he's a bus.
What kind of writing was that? Try to get Truckman inside him, but failing because he's a bus.
I'm nearly illiterate and could write something better than that.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. All right. Oh, it's okay. So here we go. It's a stellar cast including. So take a look at that guy, and do you recognize who he is?
Is that Ian?
That's not. It's not. No, it's not Ian. It's not Ian. It's not Ian. I'll give you a hint. 1993, Steven Spielberg movie. He played a character named.
No
Rufio.
shit.
Oh, Rufio. Oh, That's Rufio, man. That's
Wow.
fucking Rufio.
That's amazing.
That is sad, man. He's never recovered from dying in that movie. With Rufio's death also went his career.
As with most deaths, unless you're John Hurt.
I don't know who Joey Ryan is. I just don't care.
I don't know. I just want to watch him punch bears. Gay pirate bus.
Yeah.
Marco's butthole is a revelation.
No. Why did I show you? I'm ready to get tingle.
I saw Anthony Carboni at PAX. I thought it was him. I didn't say anything though. I wish I would have. Now I would have laughed at him. I'm like, dude, fucking moron.
Jesus Christ.
This is yeah. And dude.
Hi, I'm Hot Man.
And yeah, and Will Wheaton, of course, Will fucking Wheaton. And yeah, that's the thing. That is the most.
Will Wheaton, you have disappointed me on so many levels.
That is the most horrible thing. I've watched. Yeah, it's actually getting more views now tonight as a result of people in Gamergate finding out about it. And so that's Norse Graphic. I don't know why. Well, Will Wheaton makes sense because Will Wheaton's friends with these people. So
everybody has that little arc with Will Wheaton where it's like they see him in stuff before they know about all the other things, and they just watch his shows and stuff he's in. It's like, yeah, I like Will Wheaton. He's a nice guy. Then they like see his interactions, like, wow, that guy's a dick.
Yeah, it's just like this whole fucking thing. Sergeant Buck, you had respect for Jim and Will Wheaton at this point? Oh man, no, they're gone. They've been gone for a while and shit. I was actually thinking about crowdfunding, getting a skywriter to go over Comic-Con 2015 or 2016 last year for the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. And because I knew Will Wheaton was going to be there, and to have it say "Shut up, Wesley," and people would have done it. People would have done it. I think people would have actually fucking
lost opportunity.
Would have yeah, just would have gone through and done it. So I thought that was pretty funny. It's fucking horrible, dude. This is
it's magic.
This is fucking
just terrible magic.
This is the world. This is it. This is what we have to deal with.
This is the timeline we're living in right now.
Oh my god. But it's just like I get, but people might like this kind of avant-garde, stuff. I get it. It's not that whole thing's like not lost on me at all. But a fair amount of people, $85,000, and the approach that they're taking to it it's like a pay what you want scenario, right? So it's kind of like if you can afford to pay, if you can afford something, pay something, blah blah blah. And like, yeah, I get that. Like, I understand. It just makes me kind of crack up laughing because it's like no one outside of their group is going to even remotely pay for it.
Yeah. Everybody else is just going to pirate offline just so they can laugh at it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like there's a new game called Welcome to Darkwood that just came out, and the developers have been working on it for a couple of years, and they uploaded it to Pirate Bay themselves, like an actual copy you can download and play.
Huh.
And they did that as a way of like more or less giving back.
Fair enough.
So it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty chill that they went and they did that just to be on the cool side. So
what band was it? I think it was, God, I can't remember. It was some band, an old band from the 70s or 80s, and they just figured out what the metric was of people downloading their music in certain areas. So they went and did a live concert in that areas because they knew they had maximum fans downloading their music.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like that's the whole thing. It's kind of like I've been talking to some people about going and doing like a tour, like doing like a YouTuber tour sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, hey, why don't we go and like, go get a bus and like tour around the country and shit. And then stop off in towns that are nearest other YouTubers and see what they have to say and shit. And the cool thing about it is that a lot of people are actually pretty much on board with that. And, looking at our analytics, and everything else, it's pretty cool to see because California and Texas are my two mains, right? Are my two main places in the United States where people watch my content. So if I were to sit there and say, oh, I'm doing like a California and Texas event or something, the likelihood of having more of my fans, and I really feel weird saying that out loud, but more people, more viewers showing up there to engage would actually be pretty high.
Yeah, seeing where the demographics are so you can go there and actually meet your audience that is going to be there for a fact.
Yeah. Like, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like, that's something that we haven't really done yet. So I'd like to I think that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know if anyone else would want to do that shit, because I know there's also there's also everything with like VidCon, and like you traveled I know you live on the East Coast.
Yeah, in Kentucky.
Yeah, so you're out in Kentucky and you traveled all the way to Anaheim, to hang out for a week. Dave Cullen came in from Ireland, Sargon came in from fucking London, like like Andy Chris Worski came in from Toronto. I mean, people flew in from everywhere.
Yeah.
To come do this. And I love that. I love all like the post commentary of it, of all the, oh, but you guys only just came in order to troll Anita. Like, no, that was just.
Are you fucking kidding me? What they didn't see was the days and hours of us just like hanging out and just doing shit.
Oh yeah. Now, you didn't go to LA, did you, for that night?
Oh, I said, well, I got a call from Failure and he goes, dude, it's not worth it. Don't worry about it. Save yourself $40.
Oh yeah.
So I was with Dave and Subconscious Devil, and we just chilled out at the Hilton and drank and just had some good conversation and whatnot.
See, I'm in overall, like, despite everything else that happened that night, I wish I would have done that in general, because I did not like, for me, it was a waste of time, gigantic waste of fucking time. Because at the end of the night, this is what pissed me off the most. At the end of the goddamn night, I had no one, like, so everyone was kind of going off on their own. Like, nobody wanted to, like, everyone is like, I was basically by myself at the end of the fucking night. Like, Nick had taken off. I have no idea where the hell Nick went. He was with Jeff and everybody. Like Sargon, I think, and Vern were going to take a lift back. Or they had already got a few people together. I think Barbara was there, and they're all going to roll back together. And then Chris Lacey at the whatever. I have no fucking idea. So I ended up having to take a lift by myself all the way back to Anaheim. I was like, son of a bitch. God damn it.
Shame.
I was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I paid for a lot of lifts for people just to get home safe.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, well, for me, it was like 2:30 in the morning. So the surge prices were over. So I think Leon paid like $95 to get back or something.
Oh, that's shit, man.
I would have been like, take me to the fucking great. I would have been like, Google Maps. Okay. Downtown Los Angeles to Anaheim, public transportation.
You would have had a better time just going on a bicycle.
Well, actually, because I used to live in LA, so I was half tempted to call one of my friends, like, hey man, listen, I know you're probably sleeping. How would you like to hang out for a while? We haven't seen each other in a bit, and I need a ride. Yeah, down to Anaheim. I'll buy you gas. I'll buy you food. It would have been cheaper to buy someone gas and buy someone food, but
it's like, yeah, I'll pay for gas, get you a little in and out, be on our way. I gotta say, In and Out was disappointing.
In and Out, In and Out, it's really not very good, and people from California will disagree. They're like, "Oh, In and Out, like greatest thing ever." It's really not. It's a local thing. You can have better food elsewhere and shit. That ain't a problem. And so it's more or less like, I will say the shakes are good. The fries are good. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to Five Guys Burgers and Fries with Sargon and get a picture taken of us eating dinner there. To be all like, hey, what's going on, everybody? We just happened to stumble across this restaurant. Dun, dun, dun.
As far as burgers go, though, there's a great place around my area called Mad Mike's. Oh my God, it's amazing. The Goliath burger. It's a double burger, 2 patties, all the fixings. Bun is 2 cheese sandwiches. It's glorious.
That feels like a heart attack burger.
Oh, it's one of those. It's just I don't eat them often. It's like once a year.
Okay. You're like, I'm gonna gamble with death today, but only once a year on my birthday.
It's actually, they have some really good food. It's amazing. Way better than In-N-Out.
Well, yeah. No, In-N-Out, like Tara said in the chat, In-N-Out's like the West Coast's Five Guys. Except Five Guys are everywhere. There's a Five Guys that just opened up not far from my place. And I live in a town with 40,000 people.
Yeah, I can literally walk down the road and go to Five Guys right now.
Yeah, so no,
it'd be closed at 2 a.m. obviously, but
yeah, they've been closing. They've been opening up quite a bit. So that's one of those things where it's like yeah, totally, man. Like fucking, they're blowing up. In-N-Out has been trying to move itself out to I think move up the West Coast and shit. I think there's one In-N-Out in Oregon. But I've gotten food poisoning from In-N-Out before, so I don't really have a desire to go back to In-N-Out.
Well, I just wanted to try it once, and that was it. It's like I want to go to a place I know I can't go when I'm back home, because I like trying new things. I wanted to go to Del Taco because I've never been to Del Taco before. Didn't go there, sadly. But
you're not missing. Del Taco is like it's a bit better than Taco Bell, right? Like you went with us to that fucking Mexican food shop next to the bar, right?
Yeah.
Like that place was okay. Like that was all right. I went there again with the honey badgers on the last day at the con. And
I do like that little hole in the wall bar though. That was nice.
I will admit that hole in the wall bar was pretty cool. I mean, if anything, the drinks were actually really inexpensive.
Yeah, as far as like paying at the Hilton, I paid $14 for fucking bullet bourbon. Like not even a lot, just like a single finger's worth of bullet bourbon. I could have easily gotten that somewhere else for maybe like $5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, the fucking markup in those bars are insane. There's a reason why I just drink water. You know,
I think the last night I was really bored, so I was drinking fucking Bud at the bar because I knew it was the cheapest thing I could order.
now,
And
well, on the last night, were you there at the Hilton with Failure when he was all totally tore up?
I had the same thing as Failure. So
Okay.
we both had our own little misadventures.
That was funny with him. The last time I saw him, I was just like, he was all like, "Hey man, I've got to go back to the hotel." I'm all like, "Yeah, man, you do." Yeah, man. I'm like, really not feeling. He has a much deeper voice. He's like, "Yeah, man. Like, I'm really not like, I'm not doing." I'm like, "Yeah, man, you're fucked up." Like, holy shit. Then Dieter's like, "It's okay. I shall get him home." I'm like, "Okay, Dieter, you get him to a lift. You get him to the hotel." And then I just cracked up with that shit because I ended up leaving the Hilton, and then going back over to Bunty's, because there was a whole big screw with all that shit too at the end. Like, it was more like a lower key event. Like even Sargon didn't go to that. Jeff didn't show up to that. Memory showed up with Vern for like 5 minutes, and then they took off. Armored Skeptic and Shu were there for a little bit. And then we all like tried getting that hashtag shut up Tariq trending.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
That was a great thing, and then that was it. Like that. I mean, basically it was like everything was going swell. Then we all went to LA. LA sucked ass, and it kind of fucked up the next night. So next year, no LA.
I'm perfectly fine with that. Actually, the thing that I was sad about that I didn't get to do, I've never seen the Pacific Ocean before. Never in my life. So I just went to like go to the beach for maybe like a half hour. Just say, hey, been to the Pacific Ocean.
Well, we were with we got a ride up there from Gina. I don't know if you met Gina. She had flown in from New York. She lives in New York City. Rented a car, had a hotel by the airport and everything else. I have no fucking idea why she got a hotel by the airport. But
that sounds expensive.
It was expensive. Then she would drive down to the convention center and like stay there. I'm like,
that sounds really expensive.
Yeah. She did that, but it's cool. She's cool peeps. I like Gina quite a bit. Oh. And she went and did that, and then we got a ride with her up there, and then she ended up leaving early. Well, I was actually trying to like talk to them because it was Dieter, Wizard of Cause, and it's Nick, and then Gina and myself. And I was like, why don't we just fucking like roll to, we're like, we could, as we're coming up the freeway, you can to get to the bar. I'm like, we're on the 10. We could just roll this fucker straight and go right to the Santa Monica Pier. Like, why don't we just go to the Santa Monica Pier for like a hot minute, or like maybe on the way back or something. Cause like after midnight, you can drive onto the pier and like basically park for free. Nothing's open, but you could go down there and do it. And then at least see the ocean. Cause Nick hadn't seen the ocean either. And we ended up not doing that. Like that was the whole thing. I was like, I wanted to rent a car while I was there, so then I could fucking tour people around.
Yeah,
and everything else.
The problem is like gas is so goddamn expensive.
Yeah, it was okay. It was about the same in Washington at the time, so it wasn't any different. But at the same time, I mean, the way I got down there was I flew to LAX. I paid $15, for a shuttle service to take me like from that was like round trip was like $15-20 or some shit to go from my hotel, from LA to the hotel, whatever, and then hotel back to the airport. So I'm like, yeah, I might as well just do that, and then like there's, I didn't drive around for a week. I didn't need to. Everything's right there in Anaheim. And people drove in who had cars, so people could, when we went down with Dorky, River Dorky.
Dude, fucking Dorky saved my ass the last night.
Oh, dude, at least you got a new fucking car. Okay,
dude, first fucking car, holy shit.
We need to explain this to the audience right now. They don't understand. Dorky's car was so bad, so horrible, that like we all jump in it. So this would be Tanuki, myself, Dorky, and another person. We jump in the car and we're gonna go just to Target down the road, straight shot to Target. And he's like, yeah, hold on a second. And he guns his car in reverse and just
in the dark,
without lights on, and guns it through this hotel parking lot. Gets up to at least 40 miles an hour in reverse, slams on the brake, puts it in driving, guns it. Because he has to like basically get his car to a point.
Yeah, he has to get the thing moving so it actually generates enough momentum that can function.
Yeah, and then so it kept dying on us.
Yeah, and not okay, that's the thing. He flipped it forward, he drove for about 5 feet and died again. He goes, well, shit. It's like, while we're just sitting there like, man, I'm so glad I'm so tired that I don't care anymore.
Yeah. It was like I got in the car. I'm like, I've been drinking. I don't give a fuck. Because he ended up giving me a ride back to my hotel, right? At the end of the night. And so like we got to the block right next to my hotel. Like we're at the light right in front of my hotel. And I'm like, I can just get out here and walk, dude. That's no problem. He's like, no. It's fine. And he keeps trying to gun it, starts it up. You know, you can smell the gas. Right.
Oh, God.
Like you could see like he's, revving it. So there's a little bit of smoke and everything else. And then all of a sudden, like fucking Anaheim PD shows up and it's all like, my hands are up. I'm like, yeah, he put his hands outside the car window.
Yeah, he told me about that.
He's like, I'm just trying to get my car started. And like at this point, like my shirt and my shorts totally smell like fucking cigarettes, or smell like gas, I mean. And I'm just like, dude, I'll walk, man. I'll walk. He's like, no, it's fine. I'll totally take you. I'll totally take you over there. And ends up giving me a ride back to like, just pulls out. I almost had to duck and roll, right? Or tuck and roll. And then here's the most fucked up part. I get out of the car. I start walking back up to the room, and so I'm a little bit drunk because we, had like 5 beers. So I'm feeling it. And then I didn't pay attention to where like a lip was on the fucking floor, and I ended up falling and twisting my ankle.
Oh,
and thankfully I'd been drinking, so like I was able to get back up and shit, like no problem. But I was hurting the next couple of days too. I'm like, oh my fucking god, this shit blows ass.
Oh man, yeah. As soon as I ended up going with Lawyer Burb and Dean and a few other guys over to get something to eat, and then I called him like, hey man, can you give me a ride so I can go over to Bunty's and just hang out? And go, sure. He drives up. I take one look at his car, and I look back at him. I go, you made the right decision.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, at least Dorky got his car at the end.
Yeah, that was a good thing. And so the last night I was there, I was hanging out with him and his buddy, and I had the gummy, as it were. And I was drinking, and I was like, I don't think it's taking effect, because it had been about 20 minutes. And I started like drinking a few beers, and then all of a sudden it hit me, and everything got brighter, everything got more vibrant, and I was very aware of everything around me. And I took one look at him, and I go, dude, I need to get back to the hotel now, or I'm going to pass out in this chair. and he got me back to the hotel, fucking shouldered me the whole way up the stairs, because I was barely able to stand up. And he plopped me down. He goes, you okay? I go, yeah. I go, can you help me go to the bathroom real quick? I just need you to like get me in there, because I don't think I can handle walking there the 4 feet that were. So I went in, puked a little bit, got back in bed, passed out. I woke up at like 3 a.m. I had never been so hungry in my goddamn life before. And any like spare food we had, like leftovers from some of those restaurants we went to, all that we had in there, ate about all of it. And then I had a thing of Tim Tams with me, ate all of those. And then I passed out. And then I remember getting my Lyft driver to get me to the airport. I was asleep the whole 45 minutes, got on my plane, passed out, and got all the way back. I'm amazed I was alive.
I woke up early that morning. Oh no! What it was is Nick. So I waited for. So at that last night, I left. About probably 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, around there. I left Bunty's house, said goodbye to everybody, bailed out, went back to the hotel, hung out for a while longer. Nick wasn't. He was out for a while. Came back. We chit chatted for a bit. passed out. He woke me up like a couple hours later, basically just to say goodbye because he had already packed his shit. His flight was really early, so he took off. And I think he took off at 7. I didn't need to leave until 11, so I kind of sat there in the room for a while. Then around 9, I think I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna I'm already packed up. I'm just gonna throw on a live stream and talk to people for a while, you know. And I did a live stream from the very trashed hotel room.
Oh,
right. My hotel room was just disgusting. I fucking it was we had left it pretty wrecked, and I didn't care. It was already gross when I got in there. I'm never staying there again. I don't ever recommend the Ramada in Anaheim, because the hotel that Jeff and Mem stayed at.
Yeah,
I could have gotten a room there for the same price I paid at the fucking Ramada.
Son of a bitch.
And
that was a nice place.
I was a very nice place. I didn't do that. Yeah, Nick, you should come to that goddamn party, Nick, motherfucker. He's in the chat right now.
Yeah,
hey, Nick,
I'm looking at it right now.
If you want in, I'll DM you the whatever the fuck it is. But check your goddamn Discord.
Yeah, goddamn Discord. That's always the case. It's everybody makes a Discord and then it's just it gets stagnant.
I chat on my Discord. I read the chat on there all the time. So, and people, there's people who talk on there a lot.
Yeah, I have 4 main Discords that I hang out with, even though I'm joined to 26.
Yeah, I'm pretty chill. I guess also we can open this up to some more people coming on in if they want. Just hit me up on Twitter. DM me on Twitter and I can DM you a fucking invite. But yeah, so now I ended up getting to LAX and everything else and fucking bombed through that real quick. What sucked was it was the hottest weekend up here in Washington, right? Hottest weekend here in Washington when that happened. And so my girlfriend, because I live about 60 miles away from SeaTac. So my girlfriend's like, okay, I'll come get you. And I land and she is stuck in traffic. There was 3 accidents on the freeway. I had to wait at SeaTac for another 2.5 hours for her to come pick me up. And the thing with SeaTac is there is literally no there's almost no restaurants to go hang out in when you're in the outside, when you're not past security, right? So there was one restaurant, but it's being remodeled, and I found this little, I don't know, stand thing, whatever, that was at the very, very end of the arrival terminal, or the departure terminal. And the thing was, there was bird shit on every single fucking table because birds were flying in the goddamn airport, and nobody bothered to clean up after them.
It sounds like a shitty situation.
It was. I was not happy with that shit, which is why I have to fly back down to California in a month for a conference. And I'm like, I'll fly out of Portland, which is 128 miles away from my place instead of the 60. And I'll fly to fucking Portland only because my dad will give me a ride there and not bitch about it. He likes going to Portland. I'm like, all right, I got to go to LA for 3 days and everything else. So it was fun. I mean, I wish VidCon would have lasted a lot longer, a whole week.
Yeah, it would have been a blast. And everybody, like you said before, it's everybody's oh, you just went there for that one specific thing. It was more let's just all get together and have a fucking vacation.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much where we're at right now. Is I think people are basically just yeah, let's get everyone back. How do we organize everyone, get back together? And then Base Mama's all hey, why don't we put on our own conference? We'll put on Kilroy, and that's totally a valid excuse to get everyone together for 4 days.
Exactly.
It's totally a valid excuse that my girlfriend will kill me for going on a few. Is Bearing streaming too right now? Is that what's going on? I'm seeing in the chat people are saying other people are streaming.
They said the cunt stream.
Oh, I know there's who does a cunt stream?
That would be Smeckle and Wrath of Controversy.
Okay. Let's see. I know what I subscribe to is live right now, so I don't give a fuck. That's how it works, motherfucker.
Make your own goddamn rules.
Yeah, and shit. I don't give a fuck. Let's see. Ranting Monkey streamed 3 hours ago. The YouTube Saints were on till a little bit ago. and everything. So I'll have to watch that later because I didn't catch it tonight.
Got Jeff to say Steel Panther lyrics and he didn't even realize it.
Nice.
Or he did, and he just low key just act like he didn't care.
Did he actually participate? Because I know it's on Southern Oregon's on fire right now.
Yeah, he did actually.
Okay.
But I feel so bad for all that shit. It's so awful.
Yeah, everywhere's all fucked up, man. Everywhere's all fucked up right now. Like, no one's safe. No, that's what it feels like. I'm not waiting for like Mount St. Helens to erupt again or some shit.
Yeah, what's that new movie coming out that's all about like fighting forest fires?
Geostorm. Huh? It's a Geostorm.
No. It was like a thing specifically about like fighting forest fires. Like they're called I can't even remember the name of it. I'm gonna type in like the dumbest thing I've ever had to type into Google firefighter movies. Oh, actually 2017. That works.
There's a firefighter movie.
Only the Brave.
Sounds familiar. I'm not too sure though, because I don't really.
It's about this group who fights these massive wildfires in Arizona.
I want to see that one that was the couple guys that were trying to sneak over the border and they're being hunted by like a Minuteman. Have you heard of that one at all? Like no. It's like a thriller. Yeah, it's like two immigrants are trying to sneak over the border, or like I think they're like three immigrants, and then like some psycho lone Minuteman with a sniper rifle like takes out one of them, and then it becomes just like kind of this cat and mouse thriller sort of thing. Like he's trying to track them down. It's all like rocky mountains and shit, like rocky terrain. And they're trying to hide from him. It's from I think it's from the brother of the guy who did The Revenant. I saw the trailer. It looked okay.
Yeah, I'd say I didn't feel anything special about Revenant.
I just know that it was Leo DiCaprio got fucked by a bear.
Yeah, he got
Porcelain. Check your DM on Discord. So, yeah, I just thought it was pretty fucking funny. Like that. Like the thing is, like Leonardo DiCaprio, I think should have won for. I think he should have won for Wolf of Wall Street.
Right? Oh yeah, definitely.
But they fucked him over out of that one, and so then they go, yeah, okay, but yeah, you got fucked by a bear. Like you cool dog, you cool.
It has to be super artsy. That's why.
Pretty much, yeah. It's that's how it works. That's just how it works these days. Is you gotta get in there and that shit. But I can probably tell you too. Another reason why tonight probably didn't have as many viewers as usual is because it's also Labor Day weekend, so a lot of people are probably out on Sunday night. I just realized it's Labor Day weekend. When you work from home, you pretty much like never.
Weekends have no meaning.
They have no holidays. Have no meaning. Weekends have no meaning. It's like, everyone's like, "Hey, it's fucking Christmas, man! Like, what are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "I don't know, make videos." But it's Christmas, yeah. The end.
You have to kind of create your weekends somewhere.
I take my weekends where I can get them.
I like them like during the work week because the rest of the world isn't around then, and you can actually like get your shopping done and go places, and there's less traffic.
That's why I like going to movies during the fucking weekdays, because like no one's there.
You save so much money.
Oh yeah. Well, I also bought a movie pass. I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. So
I should probably do that at some point because I do that little thing with a friend of mine and we just talk movies and different shit. So I'm about every week at the movie theater.
Good. Yeah, my sibling was trying to push me into seeing the Death Note movie that's on Netflix right now.
I saw it.
Yeah, kind of like out of morbid The Room kind of curiosity.
I liked it.
Oh, really?
I mean, the thing is though, it's an adaptation. It's like I don't lose my shit at those kind of adaptations anymore, because it's like it's clearly an adaptation that they're not setting it to the source material directly. So
yeah, I can see that, but at the same time, I just see that and I know where it's come from, and I know what they're trying to do with some of the plot points, and it's just weird.
I definitely do support the notion that they set it in America instead of trying to do that weird thing where like they'll set it in its original location, like it's in Japan, but for some reason it's a bunch of Americans who go to Japan to then carry out the plot of Death Note or whatever. Instead it's just like, yeah, we're doing it in America. So I give them credit for that.
Yeah, I mean they said it in Seattle, which makes a lot of sense, considering the fact that Seattle is really crazy. I was just there last night, so those people, the traffic is horrendous, and those people can die. And so, you know, I get that, and I like the fact that it was like a horror movie take on it. You know, and I like the fact that it was about morality. There's a lot of morality in there. Like it was about like, it was basically, the best way to describe it is like, you know, back to the old adage of absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's a lot of what it focused on. There also happened to be some stuff they pulled from the original that didn't fit so well. Like Light using the Death Note to kill, cool. L made no goddamn sense because he also didn't really extrapolate onto what his entire, you know, like he when they do something to his buddy or whatever, and he's like, oh, he was a trained from a birth to be the world's greatest detective. I'm like, he ain't Batman, motherfucker. Shut the hell up. You know, like it's just like, what's his name? I don't know what his name is. I have to go to the orphanage to find it. Okay, well, do that. Okay, and then it's like across country or some shit. You know what I mean? And it's just made like no fucking sense.
It's like also it's almost just like, oh, here's the secret facility where we train agents at. Okay, that's nice. Get his information.
Yeah, but I mean, like at least they didn't do it sort of like The Grudge, where The Grudge was like they wanted to keep it in Japan. They wanted to keep a lot of elements in the aesthetic to feel very Japanese, and then they're like, but we want to sell it to an American English-speaking audience, so we need to make sure to find a way to shove Americans into Japan and into the story to then relate to the audience. Like instead of doing it kind of oddly like that, I think just setting it in a different country immediately, it's like if you're trying to aim it at a different audience, just set it in that country where you're trying to aim the sell point or whatever, and it'll just work. And please, you know, don't do it that other way around, the Grudge manner, and I'm already happy about that point, definitely.
Well, the thing is, most adaptations like suck dick anyway. I mean, they all just suck. Like, you know, unless you have absolutely like no familiarity with the source material whatsoever, or you just simply don't care. Like, I went and saw The Dark Tower, and like, everyone ragged on it. Fucking critics ragged on it.
I like The Dark Tower.
People, I actually enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a serviceable summer action movie. You know, like I would have preferred a bit more story breakdown in a few areas, like a bit more explanation on a couple things. But otherwise, that whole scene at the end when trying to get the gunfight scene was fucking dope, man. That felt like a goddamn video.
No spoilers now.
No, I'm saying that felt like a fucking video game adaptation right there. Just like he straight, like, you know, dives across the way, pulling out the dual revolvers and pop, 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 just taking everybody out. I'm like, damn straight, Idris Elba, motherfucker.
I could watch that for a solid 90 minutes.
Yeah, totally, man. Like I enjoyed it for that. Like, and I enjoyed the story too. It's my girlfriend and I both walked out going like, I thought it was gonna suck. She's like, I liked it. I'm like, you know, I mean, had some problems with it, but ultimately I'd watch this again.
Yeah, it's like as far as like sci-fi movies, it's good.
The one I'm looking forward to though is It, because apparently It is good.
See, now I wasn't looking forward to that.
It looks good to me. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't know if it's gonna. I don't think comparing it to the original is going to be good. I think if anything, you know, it should just be looked on at its own, because I don't know. I've always wanted to just blindly love Stephen King movies, but they always kind of rub me a little bit the wrong way by the end of the film. So I'm not going in like already idolizing the original. You know, I'm going in like, okay, so what's this version? You know, and trying to keep my mind open and keep positive vibes, hope.
Well, I think a lot of people though, when it comes to it, have been, they remember the 1990s miniseries, because like who hasn't seen the 1990s miniseries?
It's hard to beat Tim Curry.
Yeah, exactly. Just Tim Curry, man. And so this new guy, I saw the extended cut, or the extended preview of it in front of the Dark Tower. So it was about 5 minutes. It was basically the whole opening segment of the movie when like Georgie's running and everything. Like it was good. It was intense. I want my girlfriend to go with me to go see it, but she's like, she can't do that shit right now. She's like 6 months pregnant. So that kind of shit is just not going to do well with her.
No, yeah, that's a bad idea.
I'll have to go see it by myself because I won't be able to go.
Well, you can see it later with her. I mean, you can see it now, and then you guys can watch it again later.
Yeah. Well, the problem with it is like the thing is like I like to go see movies with people. I like to enjoy that kind of like community experience. One of the reasons why I love working, probably why I worked at my theater for so fucking long, was because I was friends with everybody there, and we'd all watch the movies together all the time. And then we would just sit there and like talk about them for hours, and like, oh, would you see this part? No, hold on, it's coming up right now, and like we'd be able to rewatch it and discuss stuff. So that was pretty cool. I did meet a guy yesterday at PAX who rips audio commentary tracks off of movies and uploads them to iTunes through a secret group.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
So he added me into the group, and I'm gonna download some of those audio commentaries because there's time, because the thing is though, honestly, all things considered, the way he explained it to me was a good point. It's like, how you watch those things and you can't really hold your place on them. So if you don't get to do it all in one go, it's really hard to remember where you're at.
Yeah.
He's like, I just ripped the audio of that, put it up on iTunes, and it saves your place automatically. I'm all like, I don't disagree with that. I don't look at piracy at all.
And that's like one tiny aspect of the entire package that, they're selling you with the DVD. And so it's not like you're taking any primary chunk, out of it, really. This is an add-on. This is a little tidbit on the side kind of a thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm hoping that we there's some cool shit in there. I haven't gone and explored it just yet. Should probably look to see which one he included me into, just so I don't forget, because yesterday was a long damn day for me. I was just so tired. And officially confirmed now, I am got approved into the Uber Eats driving program.
What
Uber Eats? What the hell is that?
Uber Eats is the who else is in here now?
JT. Nick just sent me a link at random. So.
Okay, that sounds like Nick.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? Now Uber Eats is basically just like delivery driving. Someone's like, I really want a fucking pizza, but I don't want to like go to, Pizza Hut. I want this like gourmet place across town. So they put in an order in the app, and then like it pings.
Sounds like DoorDash or Grubhub.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's Uber doing it. I live in a small enough area where there's not a lot of delivery options here. In fact, in my neighborhood, only one place comes out this far, and it's just a Chinese restaurant. And I'll be cruising down the road, and I will see fucking like a car with like a gigantic like Chinese little, what the fuck are those things called? Like the little to-go boxes, like just on the top of the car. Yeah. I'm like, oh, Emperor's Palace. All right, maybe I should, So I'm like, oh, maybe if I do Uber, I can supplement some income while this whole fucking apocalypse thing is happening.
Yeah, no, I've started to notice that service in San Francisco. Just seeing takeout bags left on the counter, like clearly labeled with Sharpie, Uber, and then somebody's name or sign in or something under that. And what I've wondered is that when it comes to like in a big urban environment, are you expected to meet the driver on the curb, or does he have to park and go up to like the 30th
door-to-door
floor?
service?
Oh, that's where the value is.
So that's where the value is, yeah. Unless
they have to make it up the anthill mound to find you.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, the thing is, where I live is there's not going to be a great deal of that. So it's going to be a lot of like cruising into people's houses. There's not a lot of apartment complexes over here. So I mean, I might end up like rolling over to like there's like a couple other cities nearby, and everything else. And the area goes pretty far, but in this area, like each delivery is going to cost the person like $10 to $12, which means I'll get a solid portion of that. so it's I was watching some YouTube videos yesterday about it, or the other day about it, where the guy's like, oh, I did 20 deliveries over the span of like 8 hours, but the deliveries weren't earning a lot of money because it was like, oh yeah, go to here, get this place, and then just drive like a mile down the road and drop it off. Here's like, go get this stuff and then drive like 7 miles to go drop it off. Like that's how, like, because I live more like, I don't want to say rural area, but like on the outskirts of Olympia. So it's kind of like there's more space out here.
You're in the quieter part of town.
Outside of the dude firing off guns behind my house, yes, it's pretty quiet. Like he never shoots at the deer. Like this leaves me for some venison and everything else. But I will be right back. I have to use the restroom, so let me just do that. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Understandably.
Keep it PG. Well, fuck it, keep it hard. Just don't show dicks.
No, you gotta run it for me. Come on.
Yeah, Jade. I don't know you, man. You can easily show some shit.
Well,
I don't know my dick either. So, like, how can you trace my dick back to me? Like,
well, I mean, it's already on camera. You can't show much more of a dick than that.
No, what he's just saying is that I'm sure Matt has a little bit of PTSD from back in like 2014 when there were like these massive streams where people were sort of networking together and everything after that one consumer revolt controversy. There were some streams where somebody would do something live and then it's like, okay, you got to delete the whole thing or start over or whatever just because they did something and now, ruined everything. So you always got to practice.
That is a really fucked up thing to do.
Yeah. And no, back then, like I just remember these full streams where you look at everyone in the little tab bit and you think like, okay, I'm sure it's gonna go well, and then one guy pulls up one meme that has gone too far, and you're like, Google's gonna kill us, and you just have to take it all down.
What you drinking tonight?
I got a little bit more of my scotch that I bought before the weekend. This is a Balvenie Double Wood.
Watching you pop that open, I'm getting thirsty.
Yeah, this is some good shit, man. I'm not gonna lie. I saved myself 2 shots of wild turkey. I don't preserve booze well.
I feel your pain.
Usually when booze is around me, booze disappears.
It's hard to keep my cabinet stocked.
Yeah, I'm having that problem myself.
Actually, I'm gonna go snag myself a beer right now.
Yeah, see, I kind of have the weird opposite problem. I don't drink alcohol, and it's not like for any particular reason. It just doesn't super agree with me. But like, alcohol keeps collecting in my house. And so when people come over, they'll just stare longingly at like the whiskey bottle somebody gave to me without knowing that I don't drink. And they'll just stare at it all night, and it's like, please drink the whiskey. And they're like, I'm allowed? And it's like, yes, please. It's just sitting here. Use it. Enjoy it. Somebody drink my alcohol.
Yeah, believe it or not, I have the same thing going on with me with weed. Because I kept trying to, like, honestly, just to curb my drinking, I picked up weed again. I just don't like being high.
No.
I don't like it at all. I enjoy it.
Oh, for medical reasons, everyone was like, oh, it's so much more natural than all the pills and medication you have. You should experiment with the medical stuff, see what happens. My body did not like that stuff at all.
Doesn't make it fun. Doesn't make it fun at all.
Yeah, and what's so hilarious is that people think that, something grew out of the ground directly instead of came in like a powder pill form that like, oh, it's just so much better for you. It's natural.
Grew out of the ground directly, my ass. The fucking splicing and dicing that they're doing with that shit these days. Holy fuck.
Yeah. No, but it's just...
I was like, because I remember when you could just like toke on a bowl or a bong for a little while and you could just have a few beers and smoke some weed and have some fun. No, and I got out of the Army. Apparently, they have made some medical advances. So I took a couple of power hits and I went absolutely out of my fucking mind. And the universe made sense, and I didn't appreciate it one goddamn bit.
Mm-hmm.
You never did.
I was definitely telling the universe to knock that shit off.
I hope this counts as part of the PG-13 label that Matt set out before going to
He said R, just no dicks.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just no
okay.
hard R.
Oh, no hard R. Okay.
No hard R, no nig R. Hey, quoting Richard Pryor, so it's not racist.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay. All right. No,
You saw that?
No, I've seen Richard Pryor. I think he's one of the most gifted, brilliant comedians ever. But I'm just one of those cautious YouTubers where I'm like, I want to stay on air. I don't want to be on the block list. So far, I've made it out through all the stuff. No blocking anywhere. I'm even looking at tweets for other people who
You
are
won't get
blocked.
blocked for what other people say. No, that was a little. He had that bit. I forget which one of his specials it was, but he did actually get, I think, arrested. Did he get arrested? He threw a fit on his wife. He flipped on his wife, Tanuki.
Which one?
Richard Pryor.
I can't remember.
He took a 357 outside and he shot his car.
Oh.
Like, yeah, he's telling the story. He's like, I took this thing and I shot the car. And then the cops show up and they don't shoot cars. They shoot nigars. It's funny as fuck.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So that's where I got nigars.
Wait. So were you the guy that Wizard of Cause sent over?
Yes.
Yeah, no, he was in the chat. He's like, don't worry, I'll send you good people. I can't be on tonight, but I send good people. And it's like, what counts as good people? Now I have a baseline. Like, okay, this is good people. This person I am staring at right now. This is good people. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not shy about my camera. So I take zero responsibility if I happen to be pantsless. It wasn't on purpose.
We're all television newscasters, I'm sure. You know,
Right. Yeah.
as every good internet professional in the dead of summer is.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah. I'm assuming Matt got tied up with his cats or something at this point.
Quite possible.
Oh, looking in the
I'm back.
Hello.
There it
Speak
is.
of the devil.
Sorry. You know how it is.
Okay.
You sit down to do one thing and it takes a little longer. Ain't that?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We told a Richard Pryor joke or two, I think. I hope that wasn't too far.
Was there an excessive use of the N-word?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do with it.
But it was with an A before the R and not an E before the R.
Did I wash my hands? Yes, I washed my hands.
Good.
I'm one of those people that's like really obsessive about that. So it's like if I don't feel it's clean enough, I will wash it a second or third time. It's from all the years of working in the food industry.
Mm-hmm.
You just end up doing that. But no, I just sorry.
Yeah. No, you came back right on time. We were about to probably veer downhill horribly. You know.
Well,
Ben.
Probably.
Who's stopping you? God damn. No one here. I'm all down for some crazy shit. It's fucking. Oh my god, yeah.
This beer does not taste like a pale ale.
What kind of beer is it?
It's from a local brew. It's from Mad Tree Brewing, which I know you've probably heard of, but I fucking love the place.
Nope, never heard of it.
Proper Session Ale.
Proper Session Ale.
Yeah, it's
Well, I'm probably not local to you, dude. What state are you in?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah, I haven't been in Kentucky in years. Almost 10 now.
It tastes more like a triple than an ale.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've never been to Kentucky, so there's that.
I went to basic training in Kentucky.
There's a lot of good stuff in Kentucky.
Yeah, there's, good booze, good meth.
There are a lot of gay
what?
furries in Kentucky. I'm just gonna say that there are a lot of gay furries in Kentucky,
Gay furries.
and
Gay
they're all rednecks, and they all love guns.
Are you
That's
implying
hilarious.
something?
No, I'm just saying I know a lot of gay furries in Kentucky that drive around with shotguns in their trunk bumping around against stuff. And I asked them, why don't you keep those at home? They make a tremendous amount of noise every time you hit a bump in the road. And they're like, I don't know, maybe we'll find something to... I don't know.
Might find
Man,
something to kill.
high maintenance here.
Yeah.
So what
I
you're
just-
Keep a shotgun in a
saying
truck.
is there's a lot of closeted homosexual furries.
Hey, what happens at the hunting camp stays at the hunting camp.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's Brokeback Mountain all up in that motherfucker.
I can't quit you.
Brokeback Mountain was two guys. This is more of like, hey, let's put out the campfire and play Who's in My Mouth.
Yif Back Mountain.
Actually, that is a great title. That is
Train.
the best title.
I just can't quit you. Now, please come in.
Or you. How many holes do I have?
I just imagine somebody saying, I can't quit you, but the camera is zoomed in on this motionless, fixed expression animal mask. So, like, but you hear the muffled, I can't quit you behind it,
Well, how do furries say that? Roof, 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 roof. That's how they would communicate.
Something like that. I just remember I once ended up volunteering at an event, at one of those events, because it was one of those things where like conventions pat each other all on the back. So like volunteers for one convention will end up helping out another. So if you start in like a comic book convention, you end up volunteering at a furry convention. And I was at one of those ones, and for whatever reason, my dog ended up there because my parents picked me up, and my dog thought that furries were the most bizarre thing that he had ever experienced in his life. He was just amazed at them. He's just fascinated.
To be correct.
I understand that. I think a lot of people, when they first see something like furries, you go, huh, okay. Like I eventually we're going to get to the point of where furries are going to start demanding the right to marry each other in their fursuits. Their personas will be, forced upon people by the government.
Beat me to the persona bit.
That's what's gonna. My persona tells me that I'm a hybrid wolf turtle baconkin, and like you have to call me that, okay? Like that has to be on my driver's license because you were literally oppressing me with violence.
What?
Fursona, is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Oh my God! Yes.
You don't. Oh, you don't know. Oh, JT,
Brother,
No.
let us learn you something.
I
Learn
will
me.
fully admit
Learn me,
I am not as
educate me.
well versed in that world as others. I do believe that Tanuki and Porcelain here might be better equipped to explain.
I am just an observer, okay?
A
Like the
casual
person,
observer.
yeah, like the
right?
person filming the animal documentary or recording the narration for it. Like I am
You're like
just an
David fucking
observer.
Attenborough of the goddamn furry community.
Yes.
I would watch the
am.
fuck out of that documentary though.
I just had Morgan Freeman pop into my head narrating the mating ritual of two furries.
And then they get the booze, and once it's within them, they finally go.
But he
and
really
begin the
wanted
yiffing.
to be a dog. And he wanted to be called a dog.
Well, what's hilarious with their community is it's like I would say 2/3 of it has zero overlap with sort of the Tumblr SJW crowd, and they operate for the most part kind of not in connection to that. And then at the same time, you'd think these tribes would sort of mush together really well, but furries, a lot of them actually don't like that kind of attitude, that political correctness stuff at all. And it's just really funny to see who are the ones that stand up. It's the purple dragons and the
But now you got
Pegasus wolves.
fuckers like the QQ that are like the alt furry movement. And you're like, what?
Well, with alt furries come the anti furs.
Yeah. Could you just imagine how hot it would be at a fucking anti-fur protest, right? They'd be like
fuck
in their
that
fursuit.
noise.
all
Black
them
in a fursuit? No way. Wait. What if they have black fur as well as the black clothing?
I don't know. They'd have to really dig deep to pull that one out of their closet, but they would You know, could you just imagine like a guy shows up like in a fucking giraffe costume or I don't know why giraffe.
You gotta remember, man. I mean, you gotta remember they're vegan ISIS, so they don't wear fur.
I will admit that was a good jab by Trevor Noah. That was pretty funny.
That was actually I liked that little Trevor Noah bit. I did. I actually did. I enjoyed that.
I like the fact now that you've got people that are starting to call that shit out.
Yeah, that was actually really refreshing.
I lost a few.
From someone who's been pretty cancer, that was actually really refreshing.
He's been getting better. I will admit. I do watch Daily Show. He's been getting better. They've dropped a lot of the identity politics shit. I mean, it's still there in some essence because it's always going to be there. It's a hot topic,
right?
But for the most part, he's kind of backed off of that particular angle. But then again, everything that's happened with Charlottesville and the alt-right and, you know, the literal Nazis, it's kind of come back a bit. But then again, it's come back in a context that you can kind of understand. Yeah. So, and people also just want to like fucking fight back. You know, they want what it is, and this is where I catch shit from people is I'm all like, you know, hey, after Charlottesville, the left was lionizing Antifa. You got Graham Linehan, whatever, the dude who created the IT crowd over in UK and shit, a bunch of other shows. He's all like, we're all Antifa if you are anti-fascist. It's like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, who was it? Kumail Nanjiani. He goes, oh, Antifa. So basically normal fucking people.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you don't even fucking know.
That dude just fucking runs his mouth all the goddamn time. Like he just runs his like I know that his new movie, The Big Sick, is based on his actual life, but I'm like, yeah, that's you playing up your own story. That means your personality. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear you say words other assholes wrote for you to write.
Oh no, an incoming super chat. Boop boop boop.
What? Thank you, Sergeant Buck. Saying here, I'm all for anti-furs. They can put their dime store hoodies over their fursuits to know what heat stroke feels like. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna say they put their hoodies on and their black masks, and then wield like clubs and shit, and they'd all fucking keel over from heat stroke, in like 2 seconds.
Well, Mitzi, actually, I got to answer a question real quick because I was asked it. Mitzi, what kind of persona would Matt have? I would assume a house cat.
He just blend in with the cats already there. He would just become one of them.
I would not be a really cute blue.
I don't know. Give us your best meow.
Oh fuck! I talk to 5 cats all the goddamn time. I have 5 cats. I have communication. I communicate with them. Hold on. Fuck.
So you're halfway there.
Let's see.
There you go.
Meow, meow.
That's pretty good.
My cats will.
That might be your first song. That was pretty good. That was convincing.
They will legitimately respond back to me if I do that. That's the thing. So yes,
so now that I've given my hot take, what would your persona be?
Dude, straight up, dude, Ninja Turtle. You can't fucking tell me that I can't do that. If they can be wolves, right, or whatever, and like fucking hyenas or cats or Jesus Christ, it's always like a
dragon
I never see furry as a dragon though, man. Like I just would be I would just go I will go to a furry convention dressed as a Ninja Turtle and just walk around going like I got this whole thing wrong. Playing like the dumb tourist.
Actually, what would be funny is if you played it totally straight and you tried to interview people and whatnot and just watched like the twitching eyeball of triggering as people are trying to calmly interact with you while at the same time being very bothered.
Could I walk around and just go like, "What up, my figure?" Could I?
Yeah.
Just do that? and then just be like, "Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome to FurCon 2018. I'm here. My favorite furry creature, turtle."
Actually, one of the big furry conventions, I forget which one it is, but it's the big one here in the U.S. They actually this year banned people for PC reasons. Like they're now the big convention here in the U.S. did it finally. They're starting to slip down that slippery path. They banned the Ranting Griffin from showing up, and I don't know what that says.
Did he create like a huge, like very eloquent rant against them?
He made it very, very public exactly how the whole thing went down in terms of the email exchange of like how they basically gently asked him to. It would be nice if like you basically didn't show up, and if you didn't do your act, and if you didn't like because reasons again like it's always this vague like people somewhere are uncomfortable and they don't like your kind of humor because like it's you know it's uncomfortable, but like never narrowing it down to what the actual problem is, and then eventually just flat out like not having you.
Yeah.
And
well, speaking of Tooth Ranting Griffin, has he done any rants recently? Like,
he has a YouTube channel. I don't think in the last few months he's done a lot of rants. He's
like last couple of years. He just does gameplay stuff now.
Yeah, he does a lot of gameplay. The rants aren't so much. He's still doing comedy tours, as far as I know. But rants are not as common on his channel. But it's just I kind of track like the permeation of like this sort of culture of basically catapulting out all the big names within a fandom to then sort of leave an empty hole and void left over, and I'm starting to see that a little bit there, and everyone's just crossing their fingers like please don't expand on this, please don't just destroy everything that's been built up so far.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's why we're doing this whole free speech thing ourselves, like, well, I mean, Base Mama and a few other people are doing that.
Yeah, they want
to turn it into, they want it because VidCon, there was nothing there for us. There was nothing that was backing our side of things, which sounds like we're anti something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It sounds like we're there going like, what do we of course we fucking hate diversity. Fuck these people. Women don't deserve a place to speak at the table. Never. Screw them. Like, that's how like it feels to say like there was no place there for like our side of things, right? But really, in reality, life is more like a 20-sided die than it is, a coin.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that happens when like you hear people like they criticize like the anti-SJWs or anti-feminists, like I think Franny's like, how can they be anti?
That's just anti anything's just stupid. It's like
yeah. Well, it's like, well, how about what you say is stupid? What's the line Anakin said in episode 3? Like, or like, what if the Jedi Council is dumb or whatever the hell it was?
Yes, it was something along those lines. Exactly.
Like, like just that really kind of like indignant response of what? But, I mean, no, but it's like you sit there and go like, look, I agree with equality. I agree with diversity.
Listen to Franny do a fucking podcast with her boyfriend, man. Holy shit.
Oh, that's her fucking husband.
Just like, I mean, I didn't even get like, I don't even know if it was filmed or just recorded. I think it was just recorded.
They do. Yeah, they do a podcast together.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if their faces were filmed, but you could still hear her look.
You could, when you could hear her look.
Like, she would like say something, and you could like hear her glare at him and be like, "Agree with me," She's so evil.
Oh yeah, no, you could hear.
She's fucking sinister as fuck.
Well, the thing is, here's my take on that, and this is where like I think Andy and I think a skeptic, because they were clearly closer to the situation, and so they're I don't think seeing it from the same way I saw it, but I saw it like this. There was a moment during Francesca's panel when she was talking, and we applauded her. Now, Tanuki, were you in there for that one?
Yeah, I was in the back making sure Mama didn't kill a bitch.
Like, yeah, whatever. Okay. I wouldn't expect that, like, fucking Cat Black would just drop Base Mama on a heartbeat. That chick is built like a goddamn linebacker. Fuck me, she's huge. Anyway.
She didn't used to be a chick.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm merely implying that. But the point is, so during that panel, there's a moment
where
Franny says something like, something about like we're not all who we are and like who we seem to be in our videos, right? And when she says that, like we applaud. Our group who was there, we applaud. We agreed with her. And then she starts like she kind of like plays it off a little bit. She starts playing into the audience. You can feel her like because she's clearly a stage performer. At some, I think she's done. She does like talks and shit. So when the audience is responding, you can see her kind of giving into it, and playing along, and then getting in on the mode. Well, you could see Cat Black like giving her this look, like don't agree with them. You know, you could see her, and then she looked at Cat Black, and then she stopped. She kind of like backtracked a little bit, and it was a little subtle motion. It's a little subtlety that I saw there between the two of them. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, what it was too is I pretty much had the feeling like there's no way Francesca was ever going to go against the tribe. You know.
Well, also Cat Black could probably snap anyone over her knee if she wanted to. So like if I got a look
line that she's Bane.
Well, something. I don't know. She looks built in a way that there could be a lot of musculature with that person under there. So I would definitely heed any looks from Cat Black just out of concern of my personal safety. You know, if Francesca gave me a look, I wouldn't care. But Cat Black, I would definitely.
You said Jack Black.
I said
that's funny as fuck. Oh my god.
But and I agree. I do agree with you. But I think that
Cat Black on Tenacious D.
I do feel that Franny does not want to upset. You know, she doesn't want to upset the narrative. She doesn't want to upset her base, which is why she doubled down the way that she did. She never really even like the way she described the talk between her, you know, Andy and her was absolutely just what the fuck. Like, because I talked to Andy directly after that conversation. We all met out front and had a conversation. You know, everyone was talking out front of the convention. Skeptic had met with her. Bunty and Andy had met with her. You know, like, and everyone was saying that Andy was like on cloud 9. Like, it was a great conversation. He really, really, really liked it. He really enjoyed, you know, the conversation that they had because he thought it was a stepping stone going forward.
Right.
And he's not the type of guy who would just like not take that seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I still wonder what like the grand plan was, or what level, or what they were trying to mine out of it, because it just didn't seem like they got a lot out of the whole thing. Like what, like, you know, when the turn heel happened, it's like, well, you didn't really get much out of it. I expected this was going to be a grander conspiracy or something.
Right.
I'm sorry. Wait, could you repeat that?
I'm saying, like, you know, when Franny, you know, eventually came out and was like, oh, I was just talking them for reasons. It's like, I don't know if I had any kind of inkling I was going to turn around and say like, oh, this is part of some grand plan to infiltrate a group temporarily and then come back and mock them from afar or something. I would have, I don't know, tried to dig up more or.
Nah, it wasn't that at all. Okay, here's what I basically can gather from all this. Francesca's in the process of creating a pilot for Comedy Central. She does not want negative association with that. She does not want that to be a problem because she wants it to work, right? She was on the Larry Wilmore show as a contributor, you know, doing her thing. That show crashed and burned. Why did it crash and burn? It wasn't fucking funny. You know, like the Larry Wilmore show was bad, and she was bad on it. She's not a funny person, no matter how hard she tries to be one. So what you've got her in this position where her past career move, which was doing MTV's Decoded, is completely dead on, you know, it's dead on fucking YouTube. It barely gets any views. You know, comments making fun of it get more views than that goddamn video. And so that's a negative thing. And she doesn't want that happening with this new show because she doesn't want that kind of negative attention. And this just goes to show you that the social reach and influence that people like the Warskis, Sargon, myself, everyone else who does this kind of shit have is actually far wider spread than people want to give us credit for, right? Like at VidCon, they basically wanted to discredit everyone being there by trying to say, like, you know, someone like Sargon flew all the way from the UK in order just to sit there and, you know, and like antagonize Anita Sarkeesian. You know, flew all the way just to go do that, like just to minimize the rest of the entire trip. You know, which is just that's their tactic.
And
It's a whole bunch of untruths and everything else, and they use it as a way to attack him. And you know, even though it's kind of like everything that they're saying, we never did. Oh, someone I had heard someone say like we were throwing things at the audience at the panel, and I'm like, no, we never did that.
Where I'd love to see this footage. I'd love to see slow motion, frame by frame footage of somebody specifically throwing something. Why didn't this get recorded somehow?
Well, that's the whole thing. Is everything that was said was easily refuted by the go watch the footage. Like, show me where in the footage it says that, and then they stop. You know, it's like that's the whole thing is they don't have a valid argument to come back to.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened like just last week when I was arguing with people over the whole women only screening of Wonder Woman, and they're just like, I got into it with some progressive movie bloggers, and then their audience chimed in, and I did the whole flip it test. I said I flipped it like, what if it was white people only, white men only, or men only screening? Would you be okay with it? And then once I did that to like 9 out of 10 of them, they just stopped responding. I think because they realized it's they have nothing to come back to. Because if they said yes, then it destroys their argument.
Very true.
Because they would never actually allow themselves to do it. And so it's the same concept.
And here's the ridiculous thing is that I'm even willing when talking to people, if we bring up the concept of flip the script, does it make sense? I'm even willing to concede that maybe there are special circumstances that you have to explain out as to why this is somehow different. And that's the thing that I'm always amazed is that when I give them an inch and say like, okay, let's say this somehow cannot be compared to the reversal of this, and this is its own special case. Tell me about why it's a special case, and then they can't elaborate.
Yeah. Hold on.
There's no elaboration there.
Hold on. Bridge Building Heathen's been talking about this. Wait, real quick. What are you saying, Bridge, about them? He's spamming a lot of shit here. I'm trying to read it. Okay. Skeptic was in on it as far as I know, in that she said stuff to him earlier. So by in on it, I mean that she tipped her hand more with it. I don't know what you're talking about. So, okay. I know Skeptic talked to her, but Skeptic was more like, he thought he was making a friend. I mean, to be honest, I think Skeptic thought he was going to get his hand in the door at MTV.
That might make sense.
Well,
that might make sense.
It makes sense from a business perspective, because
it makes sense from a skeptic perspective.
Well, no, I mean, the skeptic is
from an armored skeptic perspective. Whatever.
No. The way I look at it is now,
Gotcha.
I look what everybody does from like a business first perspective. What's going to be the best thing for my channel? When it came to the situation between Francesca and Armored Skeptic, it probably was.
No, wait, man. No, wait. There's no way the Armored Skeptic is getting a slot on MTV.
No. There's no way he would get a slot. But there is a way, based on sheer popularity, that Shuan Head could get a spot. And then who would be an exec producer on that show? Who would be the shot caller on that show? These are things you have to consider. It's with Skeptic, it's not so much about him, it's about who he knows. It's his fear of influence.
Shu would fit the bill for MTV, meaning if they were going to have a counterpoint, Shu would sort of look good on screen next to Francesca.
Yeah, but the MTV's not going to have a counterpoint. No. That's not MTV's MO.
Too much of an introvert for that to be the thing.
Well, could it have been possible, if we're putting on our tinfoil hats right now, could it have been possible that MTV thought that they could have talked to that group and sort of, I don't know, talk them into being the pretend counter-argument? I mean, when you see debates on TV where the counterpoint just isn't very strong, and it's because they're kind of more window dressing than actually like providing a devil's advocate opinion or an opposing opinion, and then maybe the whole thing became a problem when they realized like, oh, these guys are hardcore, meaning they're holding to their guns here.
I don't think that happens very much. I think that's okay. I think that's examples of people that just don't have a solid argument. I mean, you look at like Christopher Hitchens, for example, when he was with the Tom Metzger and his son. I don't remember his son's name. Christopher Hitchens is basically these two. He had one right in front of him. He had another one on the phone. There's two white supremacists. Tom Metzger was on the phone. Tom Metzger's son was in the studio with Christopher Hitchens. And Now, granted, this is Christopher Hitchens, so obviously he made a complete ass of these two. But they had no solid arguments, so that really does happen. So I wouldn't say so much that that this was. I wouldn't say that it was designed to be that way. I would say that, like, 100%, these two knuckleheads came onto the show, and then he was running a program at the time. They came onto the show absolutely thinking they were going to make a good point, and they just failed. And I think that's what's actually happening. So I don't think they're actually going to bring on somebody who's going to provide a counterpoint just so that they can slap it down.
Well, I think what it is MTV from a business perspective is, you know, always going to be left leaning, but at the same time, they're, you know, still a business, and so it's like, what's going to be good for them in terms of the, you know, in the online front. Now, sending Francesca in to befriend these people as a way to get them to stop, you know, going after Decoded, to allow it the opportunity to thrive on YouTube, could be something, right? You know, that's something that's entirely possible. You know, whether or not, but I think Francesca was doing damage control on her own. And I think because I know for a fact that she was compiling a dossier on Chris Ray Gun of everything he had ever said in order to give it to Lacey to get her to break up with him.
That's fucked up.
And
that's healthy.
Well, it's not only that's not only fucked up, but that's like that's also like that's also almost sociopathic.
Yeah, and
I mean,
she's
because
not
you
to
think
do it, but
I think back to like the personal relationships that I've had when I was younger. I have been in, you know, and I've never liked the term feminist. I've never really liked that whole realm. But that boy, have I shared a bed with a whole lot of them. You know, I mean, you know, you meet people and you find common interests in, like, back in my day, it was probably bands. I would say music was a big deal. You meet people that like the same music as you do.
Yeah.
You meet people that like the same movies you do. You meet people that like a whole bunch of other things that you do. And politics always took sort of a back seat. It's never been strange to me. I looked at the situation when it first came out, when Chris Ray Gun was dating Lacey Green, and I was like, wow, that's fine. And everybody else thought it was so crazy, but it's really not, because I've been in that situation myself. I'm talking rad femme chicks, radical. You know, it's just that the subject never came up. And we found plenty of other different things in common. And people, like real people, do have those interactions with one another. I mean, I knew a couple that was married for just recently. They split up because of non-political reasons, believe it or not. But they were married for almost, fucking 10 years. And the guy was a fucking ultra lefty liberal, like fucking bleeding heart. And the girl was pretty right-wing, pretty conservative chick. It never got in between them. That doesn't happen. Politics just don't ruin relationships like that.
But in an online space, though, it does.
In an online space, they don't know each other in an online space. They live down the street from one another. They talk face to face. I mean, clearly for her to think something like that is just, she doesn't know anything other than an online space, I guess. Because it's just not strange that Chris Ray Gun is dating Lacey Green. It's not weird. It's really not. There's nothing weird about it. There's nothing strange about it. Happens all the time. Happened to me 3 or 4 times. It's happening to fucking hundreds of other people across the country, across the globe. There's nothing weird about that. It's just politics. And they can have those conversations if they happen to pop up, which is actually, I mean, the chances of that conversation actually popping up, it's slim to none. It doesn't always happen that way. It just doesn't. You got other shit to talk about. You do. What's up, failure?
Hey, what's happening? What's all this?
Well, we're talking about. I don't think we got into Chris Ray Gun and Lacey Green dating, and I don't think it's weird because personally, I've gotten plenty of feminists in the sack myself, and I'm nowhere near one of them. And when you meet somebody in person, like politics and identity politics, they don't really come up that often. You talk about other shit. So I think that Chris Ray Gun and Lacey Green probably have plenty enough in common to hit it off just fine, and it's not weird. That was the point I was just making.
Wouldn't that be so strange though? If you one day went to the laundromat or like the cafe across the street or something to grab something, and you realize that somebody you've been criticizing online in your YouTube videos is your neighbor, relatively speaking.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be an interesting scenario. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing of politics all just depends on how obsessed you are on politics.
Yeah, pretty much.
If all you do is fucking talk about, if you get triggered easily and you have to like get it off your mind and your fucking partner's the nearest person, then that could start rubbing the wrong way.
Well, I've been having people who I've talked about in videos contact me on Facebook. And a few more of them more recently, and they've been like asking me to like take my videos down. I think is really interesting. I tell them no, but I just think it's really
funny because I'm usually the guy in a bar that's like pissing off all the people that disagree with me for being so calm. Because I don't fucking like, I've talked about everything from gun control to the economy to the healthcare to the you name it, and I'm just like, no, man, I don't think it's like that. And they get fucking livid. They really do. I mean, they'll start fucking yelling. And I'm like, dude, I just don't think it's like that. And they get pissed off that they're not getting a reaction out of you. That's usually me. So as far as this whole getting triggered thing, I mean, I think the people that get really triggered about it are few and far between. I really do. I think they're just so loud that we don't think they're so few and far between. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think it's also because like, people you've known for a long time on Facebook or whatever, they post their political stuff and, they usually surround themselves, and even you might surround yourselves with people that believe, similar things to you. And so you post something in that state and you disagree with somebody, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Then you always take, pardon me. Fuck. You get the you get that constant blowback. Like my girlfriend was telling me yesterday that she actually decided to like comment on an article that was tied to her Facebook, and it was it was something about Trump, and she said something about Trump she didn't like, and it wasn't negative, it wasn't like super mean, and she was called like a fucking idiot, someone who reads fake news. I mean, she was just browbeaten to the point of she's like, why even bother?
Yeah.
And like that's the problem and that was Republicans and conservative, liberals do the same fucking thing. And so it's that whole notion of like, well, dogpiling online is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, interacting on Facebook has become very bizarre.
I'll be right back, y'all.
I just don't know how to use Facebook anymore, to be honest. Like what is a good Facebook post and what is a Facebook post that is going to cause a lot of problems?
What's weird is I don't use Facebook too often, but I'll go on and I'll find two friends that I didn't even know knew each other arguing with each other about something like Trump or fucking gender fluid issues. Like I have one friend, she's in a punk band, drummer, and big old lesbian, you know. And one of my buddies who's like really into MMA and really into Trump and shit, he posted a video of a 6-year-old or something, male to female, and he was like, "This is too fucking early." And her point of view was, I felt like I've been in the wrong body since I was X young. So who are you to say that, blah, 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 And meantime, I'm like, I'm not going to fucking poke my head in there.
It's just not worth it. Yeah, most of my friends on both sides have just become political commentators now. And they're very poor at it. So I'll glance at Facebook and then I'll just go, this is not even worth it. They can go back not using it for like 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, I've just found it's such a strange thing nowadays because it's become this ubiquitous thing that everyone expects you to use it, and yet there are so many reasons why you feel like you have to be on your tiptoes to put anything up there or to respond to anything. And I've just kind of walked out. And it's been difficult because I have to sign on every few days to check what all the grannies have said. Because they haven't figured out how to use email or anything else yet. They've just figured out the Facebook. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of that. I try to keep out of a lot of it. Because I've lost more than a few friends recently for like just disagreeing with them, because basically when it came down to the whole Charlottesville thing, I'm all like, you do realize like there was violence on the other side. No, there wasn't. Oh God, here we go.
Yep.
Like tons of that kind of shit. It just gets annoying after a while. It's like, why even bother to respond? Let's like even the YouTube, like on YouTube, like if I criticize Trump, I fucking know I'm gonna get a ton of dislikes on a video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's some things where like take Base Stick Man, for example. I wasn't a fan of him.
Yeah, I know.
But there were plenty of people cheering him on, and I'm like, that's like people on the left cheering Antifa. You're no better.
Yeah.
Although there was a part of my heart that was like, memes can be dreams. Memes aren't just dreams. Sometimes a person takes up the call to be ridiculous in the universe, and that was just one part of my consciousness. Like, and since then, since there have become sort of many base stickmen, my opinions changed. But there was a part of my heart that kind of lit up when I did see him on screen. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. The memes and everything, and like even fucking plenty of times I've said, I wish, when these Antifa people or whatever are blocking traffic, that somebody would just plow through it. And then somebody plows through it, but it's not even instigated. It's somebody fucking,
Yeah, that was my only problem with it too. Was that it wasn't.
I still hold the ground that if you're being attacked and there's people trying to drag you out of your vehicle, fucking accelerate all the way.
Well, I wish somehow we could explain to these people in a PSA or something that when you block traffic, people who are stuck in that traffic are going to end up getting hurt because you're keeping them from getting to where they need to go. There was some Black Lives Matter protests that happened a while ago where there was an ambulance that wasn't able to get to the hospital. And I don't know if the person either died or they end up just more injured than if they had been able to get to the hospital. But, somebody was deeply impacted by them blocking the road.
Yeah,
and
that's fucking insane.
And they didn't care.
No,
Yeah,
they absolutely didn't care.
A quote unquote community based movement does not care. Yeah. So, Matt, is this conference thing you've been mentioning, is this going to be like a private thing you guys are doing and then you're filming some stuff and showing it to everybody? Or is this something that people can attend or?
Are you talking the one in April or the one I'm going to in a month?
Either.
No, the one I'm going to in a month is actually a business summit for YouTube.
Okay.
So
Okay, cool,
I am
cool.
spending a fuckload of money that I probably shouldn't spend to go to this thing. But that was my biggest regret from VidCon, was not getting the industry pass and going up and learning more about the inner workings of the platform. Because I really, really love YouTube. Not just making content. I love learning about it. It's so fascinating. I want to know more. And so I'm going to this 3-day event in LA early next month, where I'll be, it's 3 days of just nothing but like how it works. And I'm excited for it. I think I'm going to learn a lot and hopefully be able to integrate that and then also teach other people that. This event, this free speech event, Kilroy, is happening in April in Phoenix, as far as I know.
Oh.
Tentatively, that's what we know. And that's going to be, I don't know how many days, but it's probably going to be a couple days of being out there at least. And that's going to be, it's a free speech event.
Right.
So we're going to want to bring out people to talk about free speech, what it means, discuss issues, discuss things. And then also showcase that like-minded individuals can organize and can get together, and that we are very much trying to, make the world a better place through discussion. We don't always have to agree, but we at least want to prompt having a solid discussion on the issue.
My biggest regret of VidCon was eating that gummy bear edible on the last night.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking funny.
That was a bad.
My last memory
You gotta be careful with that shit.
tore up
You gotta
against
be
the
careful
wall.
with that shit.
What was that, Matt?
Just my last memory of you there was you just get back to the hotel. I have to get back to the hotel.
I was holding onto walls for my dear life.
Yeah,
Did
no,
the universe make sense?
No, but I think this if Kilroy happens the right way, it will do well. The other thing I want to do is organize a multi-state tour with YouTubers to get like a few of us together and then travel to I don't know how many states yet. It'd be a couple week trip.
All of them.
Basically, I don't think any of us have actual time for that. And that is unless it turns into this like weird like multi-leg tour where it's like people hot swap in and out. Like, okay, so these dates we've got Sargon of Akkad from Seattle down to Los Angeles all the way out to Texas, and then Sargon leaves and like Vernaculus flies in or the Warskis come down for whatever, and everything else and make that a big deal. Because one thing I learned from watching the Drunken Peasants or even people like Tana Mongeau, right? That these younger YouTubers, they go on this tour and people freak out. They want to go see them. I'm like, why don't we bring like our skepticism, on the road and like I don't like using the term, but it's like, why don't we bring debate on the road, discussion on the road, and like talk about these issues and like meet the people to reaffirm them that for one, they're not alone, and that there's always going to be like-minded people out there. And as much as cool as VidCon is, and as cool as Kilroy will be, not everyone can afford to make it out there. Not everyone can afford to get across country or to stay at a hotel in a tourist city for a few days. So if we were able to go from like Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, because you got to hit San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, Vegas, maybe Albuquerque, if anyone actually wants to go to Albuquerque. We could do it in the same theater there where they were holding the fucking He Will Not Divide Us season 3. Dallas, Austin, Houston's currently a little bit wet right now. It will be fine by the time we get this thing organized. It's just right now they're just kind of having a bit of a plumbing issue. And then like Atlanta, go to Atlanta, because there's like Fat Pat, Sofane, that guy T are in Atlanta. So what it is too is when you hit these different locations, like you hit up the YouTubers that are in those locations and say, do you want to come out?
Well,
So-
yeah, because logistically, getting them to fly out or drive out more than a state or so over can get really complicated and difficult.
Exactly. And so there's usually that's why you do it in all these major cities. And like Magog could come out to like, I think we were talking the other night looking at like Fort something, Arkansas, whatever the fuck, Fort Smith, I think. But that's also where Boogie lives, and like go hit Boogie up and go, dude, we're gonna be doing this thing. Would you want to come on out and like just have it, and like we're doing this YouTuber tour sort of thing. Have him come out if he would. I have no idea. You hit up, you do a meetup right there. It's like a discussion and then a meetup, and then you just spend 2 weeks and you kind of hit the country, and you work your way up to like New York or Boston, and then you basically like return the car and whatever, and fucking everyone flies back home and shit.
Or we could try to
just,
like apply. Or we could try to apply like group pressure to Milo and make him lend us his tour bus or something.
No, that won't happen. Because if Milo, here's the thing: if Milo got involved with something like this, it would become a Milo thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
That's why it's like Milo. Like if someone's like, we need to get Milo to go to VidCon. You don't need Milo to go to VidCon.
No, I
We
was
really don't need
I-
Milo at VidCon.
I was just imagining his tour bus and like somebody takes one can of spray paint and like tries to just cross out the word Milo and like just write something else over it, kind of very squiggly and sloppily.
Like cactus.
I just hate the word skeptical. At this point, like today, the only thing I'm skeptical about is if my milk is good or not.
Eggs for me.
Yeah.
Well, you got to trademark it every time,
Yeah. No, it's a funny word because a few years ago it would have been considered to mean something completely different from sort of how it's ended up being used right now.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's going to be, it's going to be an interesting time if we can do it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem saying I'm skeptical of something. I just I have a problem saying I'm part of a skeptical community.
Skeptic.
Tell you that.
Yeah, I don't like to say I'm part of the skeptic community. Like I heard that a lot. I heard that a lot at VidCon. It's like, the skeptic community. But then the thing is, I was like naming it the skeptic community when it's like, I think even afterward, people like, you can't really deny that we are a community. Whatever we're gonna call it, we don't know yet. But
we support each other not getting censored. We don't agree with each other, but what we do agree on is the simple point of nobody should be shut up based on what their opinion is. That's
Yeah,
like the one.
It doesn't really matter because when you organize people into a movement, it all goes to shit, and that's exactly what happened with feminism. So,
well, it took 30 years, but yeah, I don't disagree.
Eventually.
I think a key thing is if somehow, and I don't know if there's like a historical example to go by, but if you could somehow come up with like an end goal point and say like, and when we reach this, then we're done and that's it and we're good. If you could come up with sort of an end goal, I think group movements would have more pleasant endings. It's just the problem is there's never an ending most of the time, and so it just kind of rambles on and becomes a zombie of its former self eventually.
Yeah, sure.
Well, and that's kind of what happened with Gamergate. Gamergate just tended to kind of die itself out. I think what a lot of Gamergaters wanted to accomplish, they ultimately accomplished. I mean, we got the games industry to keep on notice, that they were put on blast. They knew how things were, and they, it's not going to be the same thing ever again. 3 years later, they might fight back, they might bitch and moan, but they know that their audience is got them on notice and shit. And
but at the same time, what still sort of makes people kind of linger in that is that like the 3rd anniversary happened a little while ago, and the San Francisco thing I was not able to get to, but as far as I'm aware, it went down like some kind of intelligence CIA operation in terms of making sure nobody knew where it was happening until the last minute, and just making sure everyone got there and everyone got out without, you know, people being spotted or whatever. And there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong when you have to, you know, plan things out to that extent because you were involved with a consumer revolt 3 years ago. And there's still something not quite right. And I think that's why people linger and hold on to that, is that, you know, you still can't openly admit in certain places if you had anything to do with that.
That's so weird. Because I mean, we all went to VidCon, and you know, openly talked about it, openly took pictures. You know, I have a feeling that Kekistani flag photo is going to come back to bite us all in the ass one day.
Oh yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like there's you know, there's a group called the Acadian Time. There's a website called the Acadian Times.
Mhm.
And it's run by like anti-Sargonites.
Oh.
Kidding you? That's why it's called the Acadian Times. And they're actually like trying to like get Sargon disinvited from that MythCon in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jesus fucking Christ.
it's just like, no, but they use the bit from the MSNBC trying to call the Kekistani flag racist. And then it's just like, that's the thing, is like, you know, it's entirely ridiculous how these people operate. They don't care. They just want to shut things down.
What else sucks is for people in certain industries trying to get jobs where, you know, you can't speak up about things because look at what happens.
Yep.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's what the whole secrecy meeting and stuff, you know, it ends up why that's still a thing. I mean, the last Gamergate meeting I went to in San Francisco, we all ended up sitting at the same group of tables for like 10, or it might have even been 20 minutes before anyone realized that we were all there for the same reason. Like, it was bizarre. It was just, you know, how underground the whole thing is, how careful everyone is. I left that event with no names, no actual names, and no phone numbers. And it's just, something's not right about that.
But I just wonder, like, a lot of times, like with things like comics, you know, you have artists that, you know, are kind of pissed off with the way that, you know, things are going in either DC or Marvel, and they branch off and they create their own thing. Eventually gets fucking bought up by the same fucking places they fucking fled from. But why isn't that happening that much these days with people that, you know, are like, fuck these non-fun workplaces?
I don't know.
But you know what I mean, right, Matt?
Oh, you mean like people moving off and like starting their own thing?
Yeah.
I think are you talking like social justice warriors doing it, or are you talking like the people social justice warriors hate doing it?
People social justice warriors hate.
Oh, you know, it's probably for this. It's probably for the same reason SJWs don't do it. It's just, it's like, it's money. They know that they're going to be like targeted and shit. So it's entirely possible.
Like let's say, like, you know, during times where everything was, you know, if you work for a big company, you have Christians going after you, so you have to be careful. And let's say somebody that wants to do like something fucking devil related, maybe they branch off and make their little independent thing. Why is that not happening?
Oh, it's because a lot of the indie dev scenes right now are rather ideological in their own right. I mean, I think that's going to shift because once a certain level of saturation hits, I think then the indie scene will have to like flip in order to remain, you know, rebellious and edgy, or I don't know, or they'll pretend to, become edgy again or something like that. I mean,
think a few people are actually trying to go out there and make their own thing, because I've seen a few projects on Kickstarter where people are crowdfunding the needs to make an actual series, just going off of what people may like. They toss an idea out there and say, "Hey, back me on this, and I'll get this made, and you can have your product, and we'll start distributing, and it could lead to something."
Yeah, well, the only thing that worries me about that is like that guy that had his video game attacked because of the storyline. Do you remember what his name was, Matt?
You're talking like the
one that was all pixel.
Yeah,
post-apocalyptic. Or no. It was like it was the cyberpunk, was it?
No, hold on. Let me look it up.
Sorry.
Because this is funny. If you go to YouTube and you type in Zoe Quinn into YouTube, the top 5 search results are 3 of them are my videos.
Something night says idiot.
It was the last night. Was the guy, or was a game? And hold on, let me put this up here. Tim Surratt.
Yeah, he got attacked just for fucking basic storyline. Like you can't.
Yeah, I get. I that's pretty fucking hysterical to me, to be honest with you.
Well, but his project got money and funding and backing, and that's wrong. That's wrong because other games didn't get that backing and funding. Rally, anger.
Well, that's the whole. Yeah, I know. They look at this thing that Zoe Quinn posted today. They got $85,000 to fucking make that game.
Oh god, that's still disgusting.
85,000, and you're like, you
fucking gag me with a steak knife.
Well, obviously we need to counter this by funding the Honey Badger Radio visual novel dating sim. That's the only way we can ever win.
You know what I find funny? I think they enjoy funding their things more than they actually enjoy consuming them, because then they create the things and then nobody buys them.
Are you talking about Zoe Quinn or the Honey Badgers?
No, more like the Zoe Quinn side.
Well, I gotta drop out, guys. I will. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, man. Thanks for
having a good stream, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Catch you later, man.
All right, man. Peace.
Yeah,
I am amazed at how social and capable the chat is at talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, they've been going off for a while.
Yeah.
On a bunch of just talking about random shit.
I think it started around MundaneChats.
Probably. I'm okay with that. Like, if listening and then just like, fuck it.
I wonder how many people are gonna draw your persona now.
Oh no.
You know what? No one really does fan art of me, so I think I'm okay.
Aw, that's a shame.
But I have a feeling like Mitzi will probably take the meowing, put it into something. That's kind of what she does, but that's okay. Mitzi's cool. She's cool. But yeah, it's I can't believe like where like the last couple of years have gone. It's so weird.
Oh well, I never thought I'd have anything to do with consumer rights, anything, and now I'm working as like a article editor / janitor at a video game news site, and it's like, how did I end up here? And it's like, how did a consumer revolt based around memeage and writing letters, lead to a non-writer now sitting behind the scenes and helping to put together game reviews and stuff? It's just bizarre,
Well, I know.
I used to be a pen and ink artist, and now I'm writing. This is so wrong. What has come of the world? Cats will be marrying dogs next. It'll be terrible.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah. Ew.
I don't know. We are just in a weird place in time.
Yeah, and you went from working at a movie theater to now making a living off of YouTube. How did this happen?
well, let's talk about let's redefine making a living.
Well.
No, but I know what you mean. No, I know. I talked about that too. I was, I'm sitting there at PAX yesterday. I'm walking around. I got recognized more than Mr. Repsion did while we were hanging out. Last year when we were hanging out, he got recognized more than I did. This year, I got recognized a lot more. And I'm talking to a guy. I'm talking to a guy last night as I'm waiting for my girlfriend. He walks by with his, I think, wife, and he recognizes me and stuff. We chit chat for like 10, 15 minutes. And at the end, and this is, I swear to God, I actually did this. I said, hey man, I got to run, but hey, it was really nice meeting you guys. Hope you have a great time at PAX. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, turn off that pesky ad block. And like I drop it at the end of the fucking thing. Like, and I do that to people in real life now. They fucking laugh their ass off when I do it. they get a kick out of that shit, but like, that's so weird. Like I'm going to PAX and I'm like, walking around and like, I get recognized, walking around by people that, one dude drove up from San Juan Capistrano, which is right at like the ass end of the Orange County in in California. And he drove to PAX and he recognized me and we talked for like 20 minutes and shit. Some other guy walked over to me and he's like, I can't believe you're showing your face here. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, he's like, I can't believe you're showing your fucking face. I'm all like, no one's going to do shit, man. I'm not worried about Zoe Quinn. What's she gonna fucking do? Write mean things about me in her book? No.
Well, also you've got the gift of having an appearance that people from miles away don't point you out and say, "It's Monday, Matt. Quick, get him." It takes.
Thank you for saying in in a very nice, polite way of you're playing, Matt. You are not remarkable in any shape or fashion. Fat garbage slob you.
Hey,
I'm just saying, when somebody has like who's that Irish Let's Player? I forgot his name, but like he had his hair.
Guy?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I saw him yesterday.
His hair for a while, was such a bright, outstanding green that like, there's no way you can miss him from a distance. And so the thing is that you might worry a little bit about your reputation because you're like, oh, what if somebody spots me? But it's like, all I'm trying to say, Matt, is I think you have a nice enough, a good enough chunk of camouflage about your appearance that nobody is going to, shout you down from a distance and form a mob or anything.
Well, allow me to put this in video game terminology then. I think video game comparison. Here's what I'm assuming. Okay, what she's saying is I'm like Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed 2. Okay, I'm walking around. I got my hood on. Yeah. Somebody recognizes me. Okay, that's him. And then I'm able just to turn around a corner and hang out with the fucking batch of courtesans and blend in, right? But they're not courtesans because that would basically mean like women are at this event. It's not. It's like a fucking cloning factory of balding glasses, fat white men with goatees or beards, and I'm somewhere in the middle section.
Okay. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put down my shovel and stop digging a hole for myself.
No. Okay. My second E3 was in 2001, and I'm there with my buddy, and we're there for like a little bit, and he's looking around at everyone here, and he goes, "Man, this place is like a fucking cloning factory for fat dudes with glasses and goatees." and I'm looking around. I'm all like, "Oh yeah, it is." And he's all like, "No, it's cool, dog. You're like the medium version. You're good." And he was a short little Jewish kid who was tubby as fuck, so he can't say a goddamn word. I'm all like, there is like a German contingency here in LA. All right, I will find them for you. And everything else. And these are things friends say to each other. So, but no, he's not wrong. Go to these kind of events and you see the same kind of goony beard men, with glasses and goatees, that happen to be of a pale Caucasian skin tone, and so we have the ability to kind of blend in, and it's weird. When we go to a gaming convention, it's us in our natural habitat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going to an aquarium.
Pretty fucking much.
Can I see the tiger stripe neckbeard, Mom?
Hey, Matt.
So wait, Jeeves is saying don't make fun of Jews. Why? Did they own all the jokes? No one got. Jesus Christ.
I'm slowly leaning away from my microphone in case for some reason that's a dangerous thing to say.
Well, I'm not like king of Poland. Like the Holocaust number should really be checked. I don't. That happened. That was fun.
I remember with those streams there was like this point I just quietly clicked out of the tab and just went on to other things. Like I don't know what the timestamp marker was, but it's like I listened to a point and then suddenly there would be a statement and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go away now.
Are we talking one of my videos?
Oh no. I mean like sort of the King of Pole crowd contingency. Like I've listened to or been or been in the chat for streams where it starts out like we're talking about freedom of speech and all this and we're a bunch of folks from Pole and it's like okay, and then there's this point where it's like okay, I'm leaving, I have to go away now.
Yeah, I've seen some weird stuff there too where it's like they get into the really like hardcore shit and you're like I have ventured into a part of the internet that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go look at porn. So cool. There's just I mean, I again, like, I don't care what someone's opinion is, whether I agree with it or not. It doesn't concern me, unless they're calling for violence, and that's the hardest part about being a neutral person, is like trying to, trying to sit there and say, hey, it's okay, in my mind, for you to have this opinion, even though I think you fucking suck. That sucks because then people get really mad at you for not instantly condemning somebody, like if someone's out there, if the Westboro Baptist Church are out there saying like, we need to kill all the gays now or something, I'd be like, that's calling for violence. And I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with what they say in general, but I will defend the right to actually say it.
Well, and what's important is that by having all this stuff out there in a way, it makes it much easier to track who's actually, a dangerous contingency or not. This promotion of the idea of basically shame everyone into going underground. The danger with that is then you can't see, when those people might actually become a problem. And I don't know why certain left-leaning groups don't understand that. And I feel very strange saying that because I consider myself very left-wing, but there's this point where definitely there's now a line in the sand where you can go too far, or at least I see it as going too far in that direction. But
yeah, it can.
Yeah. So, what should we talk about now?
I don't know. It's actually 1 o'clock. I should probably get to bed.
Hey, Matt. Did you hear about the MMA fighter I had on that put that in a challenge for Antifa person to fighter?
No.
It recently got picked up by Boston Antifa.
Oh, great. So are they going to come down to where you're at?
Oh, no.
No, they made a video.
Oh, they made a video.
Dude, that video is amazing.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah. You know about Boston Antifa, right?
I actually don't.
Oh, a lot of people. There's a lot of these accounts on Twitter, like Beverly Hills Antifa.
Oh, I know that one's a parody account.
No, this one is too. But he was in a video that a lot of people fell for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the one where it's the guy wearing the dress.
Yeah, this guy. Hold on, let me just show you real quick. This guy.
I've never seen him before.
Oh, then you need to.
Well, now.
Yeah, he accepted the challenge.
The minute I saw that shade of anime pink, I knew what was up.
Mm-hmm.
I saw people arguing over it, if it's real or not, but I knew that shade of peach pink. I knew the truth.
Your ability to deduce pose due to color palette is astounding.
Well, that is clearly Sakura Naruto shade of pink, and it's very specifically like you have to be mucking around somewhere in the general direction of anime cosplay and weebism to run into that, and that's typically not the alternative identifying I'm going to go to the store and buy myself a nice wig now kind of choice. That's the what's cheap on eBay kind of choice.
So if any of us are ever tracking down a killer in the cosplay community, and all we have is a wig to go on, we'll come to you. Like,
Yeah.
Porcelain, identify the color of this wig and what anime it came from. I'm tracking
Yes.
a cosplay killer. And
Yes,
you'll be like, he'll be like, enhance.
Mhm. Best scene in the movie, really. Absolutely held up over time. 100%.
I'm looking forward to the new one.
Oh, visually, I have a lot of confidence in it. It looks like they get it, maybe? It looks like it. The shots look good. The visuals are nice. The lighting especially catches my eye. Like, hoping. I'm just worried about the narrative. I'm worried that they're gonna try to modernize it, put a twist on it, and then it's going to put, its foot in its mouth somehow. But it looks pretty. It looks very pretty. Like, I really loved Ghost in the Shell, not so much for if it followed the anime or not, or those kind of aspects, but visually, I think that is a stunning example of cyberpunk.
It was good.
all that.
Yeah, the visually
Yeah.
very appealing. Narrative,
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people didn't care for it, but
yeah, but I mean, if somebody asked me what is the genre of cyberpunk, like if you can somehow show me a picture or a few shots or even like a short video reel, how would you describe that look, that feel? I would at this point turn to the live action Ghost in the Shell as a modern example of what is that supposed to look like.
yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a good idea, and hopefully we'll see more of that kind of stuff, because I thought they did a really good job just in terms of the aesthetics. But the movie, well, they left it open for a sequel, but we're not going to get one. That's for certain.
It was really interesting how they sort of used practical effects intermixed with, more CGI kind of stuff. Like the geisha robots, a lot of elements of the geisha robots were actors with like sort of prosthetic, almost puppet faces and body parts attached onto them to manipulate. And you can really feel it when you watch that scene. And watching the behind the scenes is just amazing, because a lot of the time when I thought they cut to CG, they were still in practical effects.
Yeah, those, because Weta Workshop did those. And I was at Comic-Con, they had had a booth with all that stuff in it.
Yeah, it's just really, really amazing. The thing I didn't get really the most is the placement of the original opening theme music for the anime movie, how they placed it in the final cut of the film, where you really just hear it when the credits roll. And I thought that was very strange how it was being kind of pushed up front and center, like, hey fans, look, see, we know where we're coming from, see, we've got the song in the film somewhere. And then you really only hear the whole thing when it cuts to credits, and it's like, well, but couldn't there have been a point where we had more of that in the film somewhere?
I've never seen the original, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's this track where there's a lot of shrill Japanese women's voices, and it's meant to be jarring on purpose. And I mean, I want to apologize to anyone in the chat if I'm misremembering right now at 1 a.m. exactly when it cut into the film, but I just remember the whole track didn't really show up until near the end or at the end credits. And I just thought it was weird, because that was kind of one of the big landmark things of the original that everyone was kind of hoping for, because they re-recorded it for the live action and sort of remixed it. So people were waiting around for it. Like in the theater, I'm looking at people and some of my friends are whispering like, when do you think that's going to show up? And then right at the end, it's like, oh, huh. I couldn't have been in here earlier, or during one of like the really pivotal scenes, you know. But I guess it's, you know, just up to artistic choice.
Yeah. I mean, you know, these are all adaptations and everything else, so that's just kind of what happens.
Oh.
We'll have to hopefully get a good It adaptation, but you know, if they take some changes with it, I think at this point I just want to be more entertained than really care about things, because you know you're never going to get a full adaptation of something.
I hope they kind of took a cue from how the kids behaved in Stranger Things for the children in it, only because it's been a long time since I've got like a good kid ensemble cast, and I felt like Stranger Things, I don't know if it's how they wrote them or if just the actors were really good child actors, but I felt like those kids were very believable, and I hope they may have taken some inspiration from that, you know, and not made them annoying.
Well, I don't know. I did read a thing today that said that the director did not tell the kids that Bill Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise, would what he was going to do on set.
Oh.
And so when they had their scenes, Bill Skarsgård scared the living shit out of them. And that was definitely like, that's how he, you know, they got some of the reactions, is they just didn't tell, and they made the kids like cry. It got them so scared.
Oh, that sounds good. I mean, everyone loves The Exorcist, and that was a similar method that they used on set.
Yeah, so I think it's going to do well to, you know, psychologically traumatize these children for the benefit of the audience.
Well, I mean, sacrifices have to be made if you're, you know, going for the little golden man statue.
I don't disagree. I think at this point they're more wanting to get their hands on money more than accolades, because the last couple weekends have been some of the worst ever for Hollywood.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. This is the lowest Labor Day weekend opening in how long was it? We're talking 17 years.
Man, just I don't know how to react to that. That's quite a stretch.
Yeah, that is where we are at right now. It's getting pretty bad for Hollywood. But yeah, I do need to take off. I got to get to bed. So
that's a good call.
It is a good call. I know it's on the East Coast for Failure and Tanuki, and thank you for coming in, guys. We'll have to do this again. This was fun.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's fun to stream and not do the videos for tomorrow. I already got videos coming. I pre-recorded on Friday because I thought I was going to be out of town until tomorrow night. So
you maverick.
I'm a workaholic and I like money. So there's that.
I think I'll go to the store and buy some eggs, because I have a steak that I've had like slowly breaking down, get nice and tender. So I was going to make it yesterday evening, but I fell asleep. And now I'm kind of hungry for some steak and eggs.
You talk dirty to me, Tanuki.
Oh, that's sweet, sweet, sweet golden center dripping over the nice hot steak, fresh from cast iron skillet, seared, butter dripping off it.
The fuck is this? Erotica cooking? Jesus Christ. Listen. You two can go jerk each other off later. This is my fucking stream.
Still though, they sound way more coherent than me, and they're 3 hours ahead. I gotta congratulate you two, and your improv smut fiction.
Improv. Oh, I need some coffee.
Mm.
Just quickly driving through. If I missed any, I apologize if I missed any. The unfortunately, for some reason, it's not showing me like the collection of super chats. So if people post it, I don't see it because I'm using Google Hangout and it's kind of being a cunt.
Also, the total number of people watching has been a really funky thing lately. It seems like sometimes when a video finishes up, there's like more people or less people than you thought at the time when you were live.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I need to definitely like schedule. I need to probably move my streams a little bit earlier in the day.
You think?
Well, okay, you know, I mean, like, listen. I've got a girlfriend who works, so you know, during the daytime I'm open, but I'm a night owl, so it's like I prefer to work at night. Plus, I have this weird thing. This is an odd thing. Maybe someone can fucking tell me what this is. Usually, most days between about anywhere between 4:30 to about 7:30, I get super exhausted roughly every day. I mean, like, it's bad. Like, I'll be sitting there watching TV. I will fall asleep. I get tired. This has been happening for like 7 years now. I don't know what causes it. Not every day, but it's like if I start realizing the time or whatever, I just get knocked out. But as soon as nighttime rolls around, I'm wide awake till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But like in that little span of the evening, the end of the afternoon into the evening, I just get wiped. I can't tell you why.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it might be kind of connected to sort of the 3 o'clock crash that a lot of workers have, but at the same time, you know, the hours don't quite line up, but they're kind of around there, maybe.
No, I mean, I get that. I mean, I only really drink like one thing of caffeine a day, so I have a Rockstar in the morning, which is I have a Rockstar zero carb, the blue can, so no fucking calories, no fucking no whatever. And they've actually been working with Destiny 2, so I've been saving my cans, so when I get Destiny 2 on Tuesday, I can enter it in for loot. I don't even know.
Wait, they have loot shit for Destiny 2?
Yeah, I'm looking at these cans right now. It's all like
wait, that's Rockstar?
Yeah, Rockstar zero carb.
Well, I guess I know what I'm buying tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I need to head up to the store. I'll be doing my Uber Eats deliveries tomorrow nights, and then I'll be like, probably before doing it. And yeah, I probably realized why I can't drink other caffeine. This has the most caffeine milligrams of any Rockstar is the zero carb, 240 milligrams per can. Has more than Red Bull. Yet I always feel Red Bull gives me more energy.
What you really need to do is you need to start up the drinking habit of champions who win at E3, which is you get your Rockstar or your Red Bull, whatever your preference is on the energy drink, and then you put about 2 shots of whiskey or rum in it, and you walk the convention floor the whole time just nursing the darn thing.
We used to take Vicodin and go to Comic-Con. So okay. To be fair, my friends took Vicodin. I just walked with them.
Wink, wink.
But I will say, so I'm sure you guys have heard about the Hall H culture around Comic-Con, right?
A bit.
Okay.
A bit.
It's a clusterfuck. It's the fairest way to describe it. It's a clusterfuck. The thing that started it being a clusterfuck was in 2009 when Twilight New Moon had a panel there, right? Oh, because all the Twitards, they all showed the fuck up. And I wish I had a fucking what's it called? I wish I had the picture I took from the top of the parking structure of the crowd. The crowd's huge. We got in there for this thing, and we did not want to, do this thing sober. So we took a 1 liter bottle of kind of like the flavored seltzer water you can get from Walmart, poured out half of it and put in gin.
Oh no.
Mixed it up. So we sat there and just all 3 of us passed around this, this huge fucking gin and tonic essentially, and just drank that before the panel and during the panel. So when the panel was on, we were hammered. Okay. And so when you got 3 people who are drunk who hate the fuck out of Twilight, you just have fun and you fuck with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting there like mocking everything to the point of where like I have some Twi moms are looking at me like, shh, shh. And I'm all like, the books suck. The books are horrible. This movie is porn for children. You know, and I just, it was bad. Like it got to the point where even that day, they gave out, Burger King gave out these crowns, right? It was Team Edward, Team Jacob. They were there promoting it. So I turned a crown inside out and I wrote "No Twilight," and I wore that around Comic-Con. I'm not even kidding you when I say this. It was like fucking catnip. Okay, it was fucking catnip. I'm walking through Comic-Con. Girls are literally stopping what they're doing, seeing my crown, and running up to me and giving me hugs. Like the most, it was, I'm not even kidding you. And I'm just going like, and I got a girlfriend, you motherfucker. It was like the one time I got chicks literally throwing themselves at me, and I'm a faithful son of a bitch. But then I met this kid at this one table, and like he was playing like Magic or some shit, you know. Of course he's not getting laid, he's playing Magic. And so don't get mad at anyone out there who plays Magic the Gathering. You know you don't get laid when you play Magic. Maybe afterward.
You notice I'm not commenting on this part. I'm keeping quiet.
Do you play a lot of Magic?
No, it's just for some reason I keep making friends with everyone that plays Magic, and then they try to get me into Magic, and I have enough booster starter pack things with the instruction book, and no, I'm not playing it. You can't make me. You can't force me. I'm not going to do it.
Well, there's a fair amount. Okay, so like this kid is sitting there, and you know, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, you know, like I don't have a girlfriend or anything. We were just talking, and I said, you know, here you go, dude. I took off my crown. Right, took off the crown. No Twilight crown. Which, by the way, I misspelled Twilight. Forgot an I. I did TWILGHT. No one even caught it. No one even cared. Well, with the exception of like one actress, but I won't go down that story. No, because she was pretty heavily flirting with me at the time, and I'm just like, she was a chick from any of you guys see Magnificent Seven?
Yeah.
You know the chick that hires the team?
No shit.
Her name is Haley Bennett. She was there promoting this movie called The Hole, that John Carpenter directed, or Joe Dante directed. And anyway, I was wearing the crown when she came out to smoke a cigarette. Her and I just started talking, and you know, she was again totally up on the crown, totally feeling it, totally laughing at all my jokes about Twilight being shitty, doing everything like all the indicators of interest, you know, like kind of like putting her hair behind, you know, playing with her hair, doing all those kind of things. And I'm just going like, you know, this is my luck. This is my luck. So I figured this crown was like, you know, a good way to you know, meet women. So I gave it to the kid. I said, yo, this, you know, use this crown and act responsibly. You know, I don't know if he met anyone. I don't know if he got his dick sucked that night. I hope that he did. I hope that he did.
I'm sure that at least there was a hug, a genuine, not guilty or felt like you have to kind of hug, a real hug at the very least.
I'm sure there was a hug. There's people there who walk around with like free hug signs. You know what I mean? Like if you know anyone who's ever a very lonely person who never gets any kind of human interaction, for whatever purpose, you know, bad breath, scoliosis, AIDS, whatever, just like send them to a convention with a sign that says free hugs. And they will walk away going like, wow, people suck because they're all sweaty and smelly.
I don't mean to drag out this too much, but I do have to mention there was this guy at the convention circuit that kept going there like 10 years ago that I became very aware of because I could just smell him from a distance. Like one person could project enough smell that you could be across the room and you're like, he is coming. And This guy was over 6 feet tall, and he had a purple wizard's cape with a giant, like, Doctor Strange cowl on it that he had made himself. And I'm pretty sure that he had never washed that cape, and he had been going to conventions longer than I had ever been alive. And I always ended up stuck behind him in line. It didn't matter what I tried to do in life. I was always stuck behind him in line, and that's how it was.
I could do you one better.
What?
I went to a trade school with arguably the most disgusting person I've ever met in my entire life.
Is
You could smell him 20 feet before you ever saw him. It wasn't because of anything like his clothes or anything like that. He just smelled because he never brushed his teeth. He smoked like 5 packs a day. His hair was all greasy and messed up and had blackheads all over it. His teeth were rotted out. He had this big old fucking hole in his front tooth where the gingivitis had rotted through his teeth. He didn't drink water. He drank nothing but Mountain Dew. And just the most vile fucking stench and the most filthy person I've ever seen. And he would do this thing where if you were working on something, he'd get up like right on you, like about an inch away from you, look over your shoulder at what you were doing, and he'd go, not to be an ass or anything, but you're doing that wrong. And it's just, you get that intense smell right up behind you, and you have to take 5 showers to feel clean again.
I had friends like that would never clean their place. They would never clean their place ever. And we'd always end up down at their place playing Halo. And, you know, like we'd spend the whole afternoon sitting inside an enclosed room, chain smoking cigarettes and playing Halo multiplayer. And every time I went down there, it was like, I can handle the cigarette smell because I lived with smokers at home. It didn't really bother me so much. Plus I was a smoker. It was the wet dog. I can't do wet dog. That's why I will never own a dog. I cannot do the smell of a wet dog. I've nothing against dogs. I just can't do it. It's a vile odor to me. Right. And so, you know, but they had like, again, what it was too is like their dogs were too big for this tiny apartment, and they never let the dogs out because the dogs couldn't, you know, this is a shitty apartment. And the dogs are just kind of wasting away inside. Never mind the fact of all the chain smoking, which actually now, all these years later, I realize that was a dick move for those dogs. And so what would happen is I would go down there and I'd always wear like, you know, a ratty t-shirt or a ratty pair of shorts. And every time I went down there, I'd always like do this. And they were like, my friend Marilyn was just like, why do you always wear shitty clothes when you come down here? And I'm all like, laundry day. She's like, it was laundry day yesterday. I never finished. It's like, but you're wearing different clothes today. I had other stuff to do. You know, like, shut up. Who gives a fuck? I'm here, aren't I? Fuck you. Like, you know. And then here's the thing: Halo 2 came out, right? We played one Halo 2 LAN game, where we brought our systems down and hooked them all up. And then after that, it was just like Xbox Live. Mm-hmm. Xbox Live killed our land. And I'm okay with that too, because I didn't have to wash my clothes as much.
I have mixed feelings about the end of land. I liked that notion that used to exist where like you could be sitting at your computer playing a group game and somebody could shout something to you, and it's, you know, it's not over TeamSpeak or anything. It's just the person is in the room with you, and like they can get up from their computer and be like, "No, you idiot! This," and actually point at your screen and show you that.
So you're like, I really love it when people are sitting in a room with me and they call me a cunt-faced moron. I love that.
Well, because you can look right back at them and have a meeting of the minds, and then call them a series of other terrible insults.
Wait,
yes,
is the meeting of the minds calling each other faggots?
I think Matt is probably happy he didn't have to go to that place anymore. But shit on a big dog all you will, but I hate fucking little dogs that piss and shit everywhere.
No,
Like,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Big dogs have issues. Small dogs anger me. We used to have this dog named Belle. She was a sweet dog, but if you got, when my stepdad came home from work, she would piss all over the fucking floor. She was so excited to see him. So basically, I'd have him I'd have to basically time when I figured he would be coming home from work, and then I would take her out and have her go to the bathroom before he got home, so then she wouldn't be able to piss as much. But never let her little body fool you. There's always liquid. But yeah, she was unfortunately she got out and was hit by a car. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, those little dogs, man, like they
pissing all over God's floor now.
I can't do it.
I had an ex that so one of the dogs used to be her grandparents, so they weren't trained at all. And it put its bad influence on the other little dog. So you would go into her place, like if you showed up at the same time as she did to go inside, it would just be fucking shit and piss all over the place. Because they would never piss or shit outside. And the fucking smell of ammonia. Ugh.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I know. Let's just agree, dogs are the worst. Cats, man. Listen, I lay out a litter box. They use the litter box. 2 days later, right? I have 2 litter boxes, and they're the kind that I have to roll over. I just roll them over.
Gotta train the fucking dog. Like used to have a Rottweiler. He would get home. It would be waiting for you. Fucking go outside, do his business, come back inside. Never pee or shit or anything inside.
It's good to know, man.
Yeah. I prefer dogs for the simple fact that
I like the cats. The cats that behave as if they were a dog. I like those ones the best.
Yeah, my cat.
I prefer dogs for the simple fact that they don't cause me to feel like death because I'm allergic.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, it's just the worst kind of allergies where it's just my eyes. I just want to tear them out of my head. My throat gets clogged up. I get massive headaches. And the best part is that all the people I know around here that want me to join them and hang out, they all have cats. Like, oh fuck, it's ugh.
Well, at least you know your limits. I've known a few people who are allergic to cats, and like they'll go to a person's house and they know that there's a cat there, and they'll actually swell up in front of me while trying to act like there's nothing going on because they're like, I don't let anything hold me back in my life. Just because I'm allergic to cats doesn't mean I can't hang out with my friends who have cats. And it's like, I understand the sentiment is nice, but you're scaring me. So I applaud you for knowing your personal limits, sir.
It's like the other day I was at a game night and like I forgot my Claritin, so I'm not going to be able to stay here for very long. I'll stay for a couple games, but after that I got a jet. And then about 3 hours in, it started happening where I was feeling my fucking head start to swell a little bit, and then like feel like my throat get itchy, so I bailed. Luckily I got a waiting time. But yeah, it sucks. I'd like to have a cat, but life goes on.
You could get one of the furless aliens. They have to buy sweaters for.
I'd rather not have an animal that feels like I'm stroking my own cock.
That's okay. Hold on. What? Like cat's fur?
The feral cat, the hairless cat.
No, I know. I get that. But I got nothing. Let's just it's not whatever, man. It's like how rough is your cock skin? How hard do you beat your meat for it to feel like a hairless cat? Like, it's not like smooth, baby. Dude, get some goddamn fucking Gold Bond, 97 cents, Walmart. Lather your dick up and just let it soak into it. Moisturize that shit. Otherwise, it probably looks like you've got just calluses out the ass. Like your dick looks like you've got fucking rock gout on there or some shit like this.
It helps with the thickness.
Is that what you do in Kentucky? You're just like, what can I jerk off with?
So wait, a hairless cat isn't even fucking smooth. Fuck that shit. Who wants to fucking? I don't want to pet a fucking plucked chicken.
And you have to buy them sweaters because they can't regulate their internal body temperature because they need fur, but now they don't have fur. So you have to start going on Etsy.
Yeah, I'd rather just not have a cat.
You could
than
buy a
have to deal with all that bullshit.
Werewolf cat. Look up a werewolf cat. They exist.
The chat is very concerned about what they may or may not have just walked into. There are many people who have like just clicked in right now, and they're like, "What is this?"
Robert here saying, "Is Matt talking about dicks again?" Yes.
Of course.
Talk about dicks, Matt.
I'm pretty much dicks are. It's just Jesus fucking Christ.
I didn't think I could derail an entire conversation with one sentence.
Yeah, you did. You did. You son of a bitch.
And here I was so concerned during your bathroom break that we could go too wild, left to our own devices.
No, I was literally basically like, just don't play gay porn. Like that's pretty much what I was asking.
Just no hardcore penetration shots.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just like, no, I'm good.
I'm just always so worried I'm somehow not quite appropriate to the level that the stream host is expecting. And then here we are right now. And I suddenly feel like, you know what? I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
I did fine.
Yeah. Like, I don't even think you've released, I don't think you've even said like the F word or anything.
Nope. And I brought up cats, but I didn't expect it to go certain places, and now I know. Apparently, it can go there, and really, really bother the chat.
Yeah, but you haven't said anything really that's nasty, so it's kind of like I almost want to like challenge you to say like the most disgusting, terrible, nasty thing you can think of right now, like because you've been tee hee, but sometimes you got to get knee deep in that hoopla.
Hoopla.
Okay, you need to stop this now. You're saying words like hoopla.
Well, I guess the worst thing I had, the worst, most nastiest, most terrible thing I had to do recently was I had to shave my dog's entire underbelly. He got like a bit of a skin rash, and the solution that the internet said was if you aren't up to taking him to the vet right away, you should probably just shave him down and then pad everything down with Epsom salt. And while I was doing that, my dog was just looking at me like, I thought we had the talk at the PR department about bad touch. And the whole time I was just looking at my dog like, this is so you'll be happy in the next coming days and weeks and months. And believe me, I'm never going to come back at you with this buzzer. That's the nastiest, most terrible thing I've done in a long time. I'm sorry.
I was more or less asking you to say something bad. Like to say something horribly fucked up. I understand shaving a dog, I get it. But to
Oh well, I'm talking about the whole underside of the animal. It was a little uncomfortable for both of us. We decided not to make eye contact for like the next day.
I would be uncomfortable if somebody was trying to shave my balls too.
Yeah, and no matter how much the nurse tells you, this is purely for medical purposes. It's got to leave you with just the sense of needing to stare out at a window for several days and just contemplate, I don't know, the wind or something to get your mind off of it. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm so boring. I can't come up with something nasty to say.
I just want you to say fuck. Like at this point, I'll just say. You don't even have to say fine. Don't say fuck. Fuck. Whatever. Fuck it. Okay. Say like shit.
Okay. Well, fuck it. I can say shit as much as I want. I'm trying to be a nice person, okay? I'm trying to balance you guys out. You guys keep taking us to very strange places, and I'm trying to be the one upstanding member of society here that holds it all together.
Sorry, you're in the land of degeneracy. There is no decent citizens here.
I'm just trying to balance it out, man.
Balance. What is this? The Force?
You know what? This is a late night. It's almost 2:00 in the morning stream. 5
a.m.
Yeah, you're fine. I appreciate your contributions.
Oh, chat's beautiful.
I feel like maybe she's a little bit too innocent. Have you ever seen One Guy, One Jar?
Yeah. Let's wrap it that real quick.
I thought you were gonna pull like an airplane reference. Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
No.
You like to watch 5 Years Fight, Billy?
Yeah, One Guy, One Jar is the new one.
One Guy, One Jar. Yeah.
No, I haven't
It's the
seen
have
it.
to watch video.
No, I saw the original one, the original inspiration, and yeah, I haven't found the soul pieces I lost that day. I've never found them again. They're just gone to the wind. They're gone.
No, that was just silly. The original was just silly. You need to watch.
But do you know how many like middle schoolers saw that? That was one where like a bunch of people who should have never ever had any way to see it saw it.
Yeah,
That's gonna happen.
Thank you, YouTube.
I mean, it's worse than like the Kim Kardashian video. Like by the time that went around the internet, people knew better. Like you don't click on that, or you lose a part of yourself forever.
No, that's true.
Mm.
I mean, I remember watching Two Girls, One Cup for the first time. I was pretty shocked.
Hey.
But by the 10th time, it was kind of just like, eh.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I've only seen it one time. I've never watched it again.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that it was all somehow staged and that it was all somehow not what you thought it was. And I try to hold on to that little nugget. I try to hold on to that belief. That belief that it wasn't real.
Try to watch One Guy, One Jar, and
It breaks off in his ass. That's all it does. It's not the blood. Okay.
I mean, it's not nearly as bad as a guy who like puts a thermometer in his urethra and then breaks it midway.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I once actually heard an elderly proctologist bragging about once he removed an entire light bulb intact from a human being, and that was like the pinnacle of his career.
Yeah, that's like the worst game of Operation ever. You're like, okay, oh man, if I hit the sides, ooh, just don't crack the center. If that filament gets in there, he's fucked.
It's really something you shouldn't be bringing up like in the middle of dinner, but it's a great story, to hear any other time. Really.
I don't really like get disgusted by that so much anymore. Like people are just like, oh, you can't say that during dinner. And I'm like, what? I just like took a huge shit. Like, who cares? I'm eating this fucking burrito and I'll poop it out later.
I'm now afraid for your child. I'm afraid what the 20-year-old version of this person is going to be.
I have no idea, and that frightens me as well.
Fucking awesome. You got to look at the bright side, the power of positive thinking. You got this shit, homie.
No, there is like my girlfriend wants me to do like the dad blog, right? I need to shoot some more of those. She's like, I want your daughter to be able to like look back and watched, videos of like what you were going through trying to like, be a parent and like tell the stories. And then I'm like, yeah, but like, what about my YouTube channel? She's just like, yeah, let's like never let her find that.
Or how about you do what normal people do and just like videotape it and have home movies like normal people and not blog it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because vlogging on the internet is also a form of income, dude. Like, where the fuck have you been? Like, have you not
Are daddy
seen my
vlogs like popular?
Well, mommy vlogs are popular, and there's not a lot of dad vlogs. Like, there's not a lot of like
tapping into an untapped market.
that I'm tapping into the marketplace. Also, given the fact that I'm not an MRA, but I'm sensitive to I'm understanding and sensitive to a number of their issues. So I think having like someone like talk about that perspective and shit could be interesting. I'm actually going to a thing in a couple weeks. It's like a baby expo, like a newborn baby expo, not too far away. And there's like a whole section there for dads. So like I got to go to that.
Oh no, I'm afraid of what the expo is going to try to sell you. Like,
I don't
what's going
know,
to be the
like,
new
I
thing?
will be bringing my camera and vlogging it and being like, so they want me to like buy this, whatever the fuck,
Because
Yeah,
there's
I
always
would've-
the new thing, the new contraption or whatnot that they're trying to tell all the parents, like, your kid needs this. Because if
Yeah.
you don't get this, they'll be deprived and neglected, no matter what else you do for them.
I would have loved to see a baby expo in the 1950s. New ways to beat your kid,
Well, isn't that around the time they had the windowsill cages to let babies have fresh air?
Jesus.
there's just so much crazy shit.
Think of all the shit they used to like fucking do with babies. Like, oh yeah, let the baby walk around in the car. Just
stuff them in
Into
between
the-
the windshield and the
Just
dash.
hold them on your lap,
yeah,
It'd be
he'll
fine.
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh, you can't take your kid out of the car seat till they're like 30 pounds or something, and then it's like that's 5 years.
Yeah. What always weirds me out nowadays is, so I am most definitely an adult that looks like an adult. I used to look like a kid or jailbait or something like when I was 26, but suddenly like time caught up with me very quickly. I just turned 30 this year, and suddenly I don't look old, but I just look like the adult version of myself finally. And
are you Asian?
no,
Oh, I thought you were Asian for some reason.
I'm a weeb. Like,
Oh, okay, okay.
so
Because there's
I
that
like to
joke about like there's the younger Asian women, right?
Mhm.
And like, one morning, like they wake up looking like their mother. There's never that transition. It's just like
bam.
a switch flips. You're like, oh, that's my waifu too. Oh no, that's Mama-san. Like what happened?
Yeah. No, people still think I'm like in my 20s, but the thing is that there's no, when I was in my 20s, people thought that I was underaged. So like I'm still running a bit behind, but I'm definitely an adult. I'm not mistakable for anything but an adult anymore.
Okay.
So the thing is, like, I don't know how to interact with other people's children anymore, because kids keep getting told and encouraged, have absolutely no interaction with strangers. And I see kids all the time, small kids that are like about to make a mistake. They're about to fall over, they're about to do something stupid or whatnot, and their parents aren't watching them. And I want to just say something, not anything rude, but just like, hey, don't do that. Hey, be careful. Hey, maybe don't do that. And I'm so afraid to, because I'm afraid of the parents. I don't want the parents, getting on me for interacting with their dumpling. And I don't know, it's a weird world that we're going into in terms of how kids are taught to interact with adults. Yeah. So don't do that. Don't do that with your kid,
Sure.
Tell them never to go in anyone's car, but that they're allowed to like acknowledge the existence of other humans or something.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I'm like,
Hey Matt, do you remember that article that came out? I think it was a few years ago, about that woman that pretended to be a kid for like 20 years. She went to like high school.
I thought that was the orphan.
What? No. It was a fat black lady.
No.
Her name's Charity Johnson. Look it up.
All right, maybe I did talk about this. I've covered so many stories over the years. Like, you know, I figure if I ever was Charity Johnson.
Yeah.
Now, let's see here. Why did Charity Johnson pretend to be a teenager for nearly 20 years? It's a BuzzFeed story.
I didn't see it on BuzzFeed, but maybe they're covered it.
Well, yeah, BuzzFeed, it's a long form journalism, but then everyone else just condenses it down to something more manageable.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, ABC. Okay. All right, let's see this here. From August 26, 2014. That's, I might have missed that. There was a couple things happening at that moment in time.
3-year-old man.
That was right at the start of Gamergate.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a problem. Let's see. Wow. Is there a reason why she did
it? She didn't want to grow up. She wanted to be a Toys R Us kid.
Fair enough.
Like the man who decided to become a 6-year-old girl. Like that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that thing. Jeez. That was nuts.
Yeah, no, I wrote an article where that person was like sort of an element in the piece, and it was really bizarre to read through the whole thing because like what the conclusion I basically came to was it's like there's this issue happening right now kind of with the Tumblrisms and stuff where a lot of fetishists are trying to turn their backroom activities into like an identity to publicly live as, and it's just causing a lot of friction because it's like no, you can do that in your house, please don't come outside, please don't.
Well, the difference is like growing up, I went to a black Hispanic high school, so I've bumped into plenty of these,
I get that. But yeah, I am gonna wrap this thing up because I am starting to fall asleep.
Ha, we've defeated you. Now you have to have a full night's sleep tonight like a normal human.
I promise nothing. But yeah, thanks guys for coming in, everybody. And we'll do this again.
Thank you for having us on.
Well, no, we'll definitely get everyone like
go to sleep, Matt. Go to sleep.
Yeah, if I could talk. I finally feel better after that massage that the guy beat me up, I feel like. But yeah. Never get a massage, folks. They fucking hurt. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.